untangle these cords. Really? Hey, I'm letting y'all see my keyboard. I just came in the house and I was like, oh man, I forgot to go on Facebook. So I was like, all right, I'll let them see my keyboard because I can no longer do audio because Facebook took it off of both my phones. So I can't do the audio anymore. So sometimes y'all just gonna see the wall or the keyboard. Hey, Rose. Bless you for your donation. Hi, Java. Hi, Camilla. Camilla, you're going to have to start next month with the coaching because you paid after the time. So your $50, it'll be for next month. So next month, you'll be in the coaching. Hi, Randy. How you doing, sweetie? I'm good. How you doing, Rose? Hey, Shelly. How's your sister? Guys, pray for Shelly's sister. Her sister just got out the hospital. She was sick, but she's doing better now. So just pray for Shelly's sister. Full recovery in Yeshua Jesus' name. Just like y'all did for her mom. Her mom is like almost healed. In Yeshua's name. We praise God. Hi, Miss Lena. Hey, Mo. Mo, how you been? I ain't seen you in a minute, Mo. Terrell. Hi, Donna. Hello, Ruby. Great. I can't complain. Good. I saw you had an opening. Yeah, that opening was for somebody else, but they never came, so you got it. So now it's closed. It's closed. I'm over. As a matter of fact, I'm over full. I got more than I should have in my group. Now I'm going to be on the phone for like 3.5, 4 hours. What up, sis? Where's Alicia? She at work, Miss Lena? Hi, Ladybug. She's doing better. Praise God. Amen. Hey, Rita. Hi, Martha and Angela. How you doing? Okay, this is what I wanted to talk about, right? I was talking to God. I got some visions to tell y'all too, but I want to talk about this first. You full on the one. Oh, I'm not doing the one-on-one coaching. That's no more. That's why I'm filled up in the group because all the people who was in the one-on-one coaching, they went to the group because I got to take it easy. I had too much stuff on my plate. So I knew that God wanted me to start doing this Saturday church. So I said something have to give. So I told the people who was in my personal coaching to join the group coaching, and most of them did except for one, and now somebody got her spot, so she can't get in the group now because there's too many of y'all. I'm gonna be on the phone for like 4 hours now, so I'm full right now. Sorry, I'm not doing personal coaching anymore until after I move back home. I'm just gonna be doing the Saturday church. I'm gonna come on here or YouTube when led by God, or I got prophecies for you. And my group coaching, I'm going to start the radio again sometime in October, November. So people will be able to talk to me on the radio. Far as praying for people, I'm going to do that again, but I'm just taking it easy because even though God healed me, sometimes I still get out of breath if I raise my voice too much or if I talk too long. So with praying, oh man, that takes a lot of my energy. And it takes a lot of my breath. And then sometimes if a person got a demon, I got to raise my voice. So that's why I haven't been coming on praying for people because I don't want to get myself out of breath. So I might not be, personally praying like I used to for a little while, So, but y'all can still send y'all prayers to my Facebook. And whoever have my email from when y'all was in my class, y'all could send your prayer there. But don't be sending me no dream interpretations there or on my Facebook. If you don't have my email, then go to Facebook. All right. And those of you who have my phone number, you can always send it to text me. Okay. Oh, wait. I'm glad to see you fully recovered. Just yet. Yeah. And thank you for praying, having your pastor pray for me. Like I emailed you back and told you that, but thank your pastor, and I pray for you and your pastor too. What up, Serena? You know, coaching is Saturday. So guys, I said it on YouTube. I'm gonna have church tomorrow evening because I made a mistake and made my group coaching for Saturday. I meant to make it for Sunday, and it was too late to fix it. So I'm gonna come on tomorrow between like 5 and 7 to the church service, and we're gonna go over the Psalm 78. Some of y'all already text me and told me y'all God answered you about it, so we'll go over it. So look for me tomorrow from 5 to 7. Hi, Casinta. Hi, Andrea. Hi, Damar. What up, sis? Alicia. Hi, Tracy. Hi, Cassandra. There's Serena. You're most welcome, Roz. Yeah, I did. I emailed you back and told you thank you for you and your pastor praying for me. I don't know why you didn't get it. Thank you, Shaquita. I hope I'm saying your name, Shaquita. Okay, so let's get to what I wanted to tell y'all, and then I'll tell you the vision I had. I was talking to God, right? Okay, so you see the Haitian thing we're going through, right? I mean, the Haitians coming over from where was they at? Was they South America or somewhere they was at, right? And Biden, they said they're only keeping the ones who's a family, like a husband and a wife with kids, or kids that was sent over by themselves. But everybody else it has to go back, right? Okay, so we all see, when the Guatemalans and the Spanish people came, they kept a lot of them. He just starting to send some of them back, but a lot of them don't went to court and never showed up. So they could be anywhere, right? So the Haitian ambassador, he resigned because of what Biden is doing, right? And so now that they're saying that because Biden is sending people back to Haiti, America, we're endangering America by doing this. That city where the Haitians was under the bridge, they talking about that city is about to collapse, because they don't have enough help and the crime and stuff, right? So I'm talking to God, right? You know what God told me, guys? He told me that our country can never really recover economically or financially because everybody keeps coming here. And it's not even enough to go around for us that's here. And you know what else he said? He said if these countries would stop bowing down to false gods, idols, ideology, voodoo, hoodoo, Catholicness, all kinds of stuff, right? He said if people in these nations stop doing that and they repent and call on him and be truly in their heart for him, he would forgive them, clean them up, and clean their land up where they don't have to come and seek America or Germany or Australia, but mostly America. He said they would want to stay in their own lands. And he told me wherever land they come to, whether it's here or anywhere else, they still curse. The curse is going to follow them. And whatever land they land on, that land will be cursed too, guys. So America, we're not just under some curses because of our own sins. You know what I'm saying? We are under curses from other nations that come here because Haiti is basically collapsing. And I told y'all that years ago, that God was going to collapse that nation. because it's full of voodoo. Just like Louisiana, it's only 50% of population there. And God said he's going to wipe that part out, parts of Louisiana out, make it uninhabitable. And now he's doing it, right? And so by all these people running here, see, they running away from poverty, and crime and their countries collapsing. And people do deserve a chance. I don't care what color you are, where you from. Everybody deserves a chance. Everybody deserves to have a roof over their head, and everybody deserves to be able to eat and to be able to take care of themselves or their family. But if you're in a nation that's full of voodoo, full of this, full of that, a corrupt government, right? You don't want to do right. You Catholic and you bound down to these idols, praying to Mary and praying to this and that. You into witchcraft, you doing this, you doing that. How do you expect your land to be blessed? The word says any land that falls under these things shall be a cursed, dry land. It will be a barren land. The only lands that will have milk and honey are the ones that worship the one true God. Now, we in America, there is almost 3 million Christians or 4 million Christians, or how many? No, 300 million, something like that. It's a lot of Christians here, right? So the only reason why America is still standing, because America was based on and rooted on Christianity. A lot of our forefathers were true Christians, and some were Masons or Scottish Rites, right? But basically, our land was based on Christian roots, on God, right? So, and so we have the most Christians, and then China's first. I think China's first, and then us, because they have more than us. But far as a free country, we are the only free country that has as many Elohim Christian people, right? And then the next is Muslims here, right? So the Lord was trying to tell me the fabric of America still exists because it was promised to him by our forefathers. Our forefathers promised this land to God. And then a lot of Christian roots have come from this country. So this is why America's fabric has not completely torn yet. And this is why God is not finished with America yet, because it's the Christians that's here. He said even the Christians who don't act right, but they still go to church. They still try to read the word, even if they don't live right. They still pray for this nation, right? So the reason why our fabric has not torn yet is because of the Christians here. This is why Satan is giving the Christians a hard time here, and he's trying to do everything he can to discourage us, get rid of us, because he knows the reason why America has not collapsed yet is because of God's children that's here, right? So now, when you keep having all these different nations coming over here with all their curses, right? It's cursing us even more. So that means we have to raise up even more as God's children. We have to raise up even more and pray even harder for our land and fast for our land. Because God said the more these nations come here with their curses, the worse it's going to make for our land in the spiritual realm. It's going to make our land more evil. This is why our land is becoming evil, because we have so much witchcraft, voodoo, hoodoo, juju. Everybody bound down to this idol. Everybody praying to this idol. Everybody want to be an atheist. You want to be this. You want to be with a man and you a man. You want to be the woman and you a woman. Or you want to be with a woman and a man. You don't know what you want. You're confused, doing drugs, gangbang, all this stuff, right? So we got our own curses to handle. But when you have other lands coming over here with their curses, they're making it worse for us. It's making us more curses, bringing more evil. And it's going to get to the point where America is going to become a melting pot like New York is. You see how New York is. They stay under judgment, right? So we are going to become a melting pot. So we have to start praying, because I've been doing it for months. We have to start praying that these people in these other nations have to renounce these false gods and Lucifer and whatever else they bound down to, and call on to the one true God in repentance, true-hearted repentance, so that he will clean them up and clean their land and make their land from a barren land to a land that flows with milk and honey. That way they will want to exist. Let me tell you something. I talk to African people all the time, and they always tell me if their land wasn't so corrupt and full of sin, they would be in Africa, because Africa is a beautiful country. America has nothing on Africa, nothing. All we have is some money. But if you look into Africa, they got all the gold, all the jewels you could think of, every animal you could think of, every mineral you could think of, right? So technically, Africa is richer than America. It's just that America and other nations have suppressed Africa to the point where nothing could come out of it. And because of all the voodoo and witchcraft, God has made a lot of Africa a barren land. Right? So if Africans would stop all that voodoo and all that stuff they do over there, and if the Christians would rise up higher over there, God would clean that land and make it milk and honey. And I guarantee you, none of them Africans will come over here. If their money was better, because years ago, African money used to be good money. African money used to be worth money years ago. Years and years and years ago. So if God can raise Africa back up, or Venezuela back up, because their money ain't nothing. Even Iran, if they repent to God, he could raise their money back up, right? Then why would they have to come to America and chase the almighty dollar? Because their money would be worth something, right? So you got to ask yourself, most of these people that come here, they come for our dollar. They go to Europe for the dollar. They go to Australia for the euro dollar, right? They go to even Germany, because Germany money used to be real high. You used to get 4 pfennigs for $1 back in the day, right? So they come to these different lands like ours because they come for the money, because their money is so suppressed. And why is their money suppressed? Because America and the United Nations and all these other countries get together like they do in Iran and do in Africa and suppressing their money, so their money can never match. You could take $2,000, go to Africa and get $1 million. That's ridiculous. You should not be able to get $1 million of Naira money for $2,000. It should be dollar for dollar. Every nation on this planet, money should be valuable. Why is it just America and China and Europe's money? Why is those the 3 countries that have, and Germany, have the highest money, and Canadian dollar, that's 5. Why is it that these 5 countries have the highest money? Why nobody else can't have that kind of money? Because those 5 countries and the United Nations are suppressing all these other nations' money. Because when you suppress the money, how can the nation grow if the money's being suppressed? If you stepping on the money and you ain't letting it come from under your foot, how can the money progress? How can the nation progress? How can the country progress? So they are purposely suppressing the money of all these nations. So this is why they keep running to these 5 top nations. Because this is where the money is, right? So if the government stops suppressing the money and stop eating up all the money like in Africa, the lands would be more flowing. They would be able to progress more. And they wouldn't have to flee to come here and the other nations. And if they bow to the one true God and repent and stop all this craziness, you want to have quick power. You want to have quick answers. You want to kill people when they knock you over by mistake or bump into you. Or if they say the wrong thing to you, you want to be able to go and kill them. You want to be able to go and take somebody's husband, somebody man. You want to force a woman to be with you that don't want to be with you. So you're going to ask to reject and rape her to sleep. Now, if you stop doing these things and repent and come to the one true God, he will clean your nations up. And then you won't have to run here, Europe, Germany, Australia, Canada, or where else you going where you think the money is high. China, because their money is very high. Their money is even higher than ours. You know what I'm saying? So do you guys understand what I'm saying? These other nations can never progress, for one, because a lot of them ain't a God. And then they have Christians, but they don't got enough of them, right? So a lot of them not a God. They're not bowing down to God. They're bowing down to their own gods or to themselves. And then the 5 top countries, America being number 1, is suppressing all the other nations' money on this earth. Egypt is very, very rich, but look at the problems Egypt is having, right? Look at, what is that country? They got Saudi Arabia. They got some of the richest kings on the planet, but yet they need America. Their money is not that great, and they have some of the richest Saudi kings on the planet. Look at India's money. Look at Dubai. Dubai is one of the richest cities on the planet, and it's part of India. But India has some of the most poorest people you ever want to see, because 97% of India is either Muslims or bowing down to 5 million different gods. How can a country as big as India have more people than anybody on the planet? And as rich as India is in minerals and different things, as well as Africa. Africa probably got more than in India, you know, and they're rich in minerals and diamonds and gold and jewelry, every animal you could think of. How can these two big dominant countries be as poor as they are? Because somebody's suppressing their money. And then the ones that's there, the government that get the money, they don't want to share it with the people. They want it for themselves. And then everybody's doing voodoo to be a politician here in America, here in Africa. Everybody's doing voodoo just to get somewhere. Everybody's sacrificing this person just to get somewhere. So this is what God was talking to me about. And I was like, wow, Daddy, this is amazing. I never thought about it like this before. He said if America and the other top countries in the United Nations get their foot off of the other nations' money, then the other nations can prosper. And he said if they call out to him and repent, they wouldn't have to run to come here and other places to live better, right? So he said to me, America is not in danger of sending Haiti people back or anybody back. He said America has every right to send whoever they want back because this is America. He says America does not owe anybody anything. He said, if anything, these nations owe us. He said, because we have taken care of nations after nations after nations. And he said it is time that these nations repay us. But they can't. Because they're so broke and so poor because they want to bow down to false gods. He told me, he says, people think that they are privileged to our country. He said that people think that America is supposed to do for all of them. America is supposed to accept everybody. So when America decides to not accept somebody, oh, it's wrong. People want to retire. Oh, we're putting ourselves in danger. Daddy said, how dare you? America owes nobody nothing because of billions of dollars. We got crooked government, but it's been billions of dollars coming out of our government to feed these other lands. We have homeless people in our own backyard. America will not feed them, but they will go out there and feed these other countries. Some of these immigrants live better than the homeless people in America. So Daddy said, how dare you threaten to put this nation in danger because they don't want to accept your people that belong in their own land. And if they would repent, then he would get America to take their foot off their money so their land could prosper. And I was like, wow, Daddy, now that's some stuff right there. That's some stuff right there. That's some stuff right there. So Daddy said our government is at fault because our government is suppressing all these nations' money. If you suppressing the money, the nation can't grow. God said if these nations would repent and come to him, he would make America take their foot off of their money and let their land prosper and become milk and honey. That's exactly what he said. So he said we have to start praying even harder for this country. That this country does not become a melting pot of voodoo, hoodoo, juju. It's a million different things of evil things that people do. So God said we have to pray that this country doesn't become a melting pot. Because if it becomes a melting pot, it's not going to be good for us. And then he even told me this, guys. He said, America, we may not see it. He said, but America doesn't even have enough for their own people. And if other nations keep coming here, our country will collapse. It will be a melting pot and it will collapse. It's already looking like it's going to collapse, but God's not going to let it collapse. People don't want to go to work. 50% of our workforce is gone. And you know what's going to happen? If these people don't go back to work, they're going to put robots in the place of these people. And when these people start starving and getting hungry and need to go to work, ain't going to be no job there. And guess what's going to happen? Crime is going to go through the roof. Robbery is going to go through the roof. Homelessness is going to be like never before, like we already seen it. And I told y'all that God said we would see more homeless people this year than we ever had. And it's 3.5 million people. Half of them are homeless because the rent thing stopped, right? And Daddy said that's why the Democrats are trying to pass the unemployment, because they want it. They don't want you to go back to work so they can bring in these autonomous robots. And the excuse is going to be, well, you didn't want to work, so we had to do what we had to do. Because I told y'all in my prophecy book online that robots are going to replace people. How else is the robots going to replace the people? If the people don't want to go to work, they're going to put robots in their places. I saw it on the news the other day. And then when the people get hungry, start starving, and they ain't got no choice to go to work, they ain't going to find no job. It's all a setup. It's all a setup. You got 50% of the workforce out of work. Why does the Democrats, that OC, whatever her name is, want to extend unemployment to February? When you see the businesses on the news every day, on the news app, what are they doing? It's about 10 different restaurants and stores that closed down here in the past 2 weeks. I saw it on the news app. And they closing because they ain't got no staff. Every store you go in, it's 1 or 2 registers open. And then they working the crap out of the employees they have, and they getting tired, and then they quit. Look at the shortage in the hospital. It's getting so bad with nurses and doctors. They're lifting these mandates in the hospital, and they're having these nurses and doctors sign a waiver saying if they get COVID, they can't sue. That's how bad it is. Look at 23 or 24 states taking Biden to the Supreme Court against his mandates. Look at all of this stuff going on. If this stuff doesn't stop, our land could collapse. Then we got people coming from every which way, north, east, south, and west, coming here because they can't live in their nations because of what's going on, but they don't get it. If they stop doing the evil they doing and they call out to the one true God, he can fix their lands. He told me this. He said they won't change. They think if they come here and come there, and they bring their curses right with them. And it curses our land, guys. Read the Bible. It even says it in the Bible. When you leave your land, you leave with your curse and you take it with you. So we as Americans, even if you wasn't born here, but you came through immigration way, and that's how you got here, and you got your certificate, because I used to work for immigration, and they have to go to school, and then they pledge allegiance, and then they get the certificate, for their citizenship. So if you have that, or you a citizen by marriage, or you was born here, and your parents from somewhere else, you was born here, you an American. So you have to pray. I don't care if you're from Haiti, Guatemala, wherever you're from. If you are a bona fide American, however you became one, you are responsible for this land. You are responsible for the land you live in, from the land you eat in, the land you work in, the land you sleep in. You are responsible for this land. And if we don't start praying for this land is going to collapse because of a melting pot of all of the nations coming here. Then it ain't going to be nothing for us. Nothing. So we have to pray that our land does not collapse and it does not become a melting pot, and that these people start standing in their own land and repenting to God so he can clean them up and clean up their land and make it like how America is, full of milk and honey. And then you got to pray and ask God to wipe out these evil governments in these different nations, because it's the governments, whatever money they do get, they take it. Right? Then you got to pray that our government and other governments with them and the UN and so forth take their foot off their money so their money could progress. This is exactly what he told me. And we cannot be afraid to speak these things because God is with us. God is with us. America is so simplistic. Americans, they just bow down to anything. Yeah, every blue moon. Look, you see how they ride about Trump, right? And they figured if they ride about Trump, they could overtake the White House, right? And kill Biden and Pelosi and Schumer, all of them, and try and get Trump in there. I mean, that was a dream that was never going to happen. But all the passion that they put into that, right? Why don't they put that passion into praying and repenting to save our land? A president don't really mean nothing, y'all. The president ain't really in charge. Look at how everybody's suing Biden. Look at some of the cases have been won against him already. Look at how half the country is suing him. So that tells you if the president was really in charge, then why is people able to go to the Supreme Court and the Supreme Court will rule against the president? He's already done ruled against him already. He's only been in there 9 months. So if he had so much power, then why can the Supreme Court knock him down. Why can all these other states take him to court if he has so much power? So that tells you the president doesn't have a lot of power. It's the government behind him, the PSYOP government, the black government. That's who has the power. And even them don't have the power. Because if you could take the president and his administration to court and win, like some people are doing, that shows the president doesn't have that much power. He doesn't have that much power. And if he had that much power, his $3.5 trillion infrastructure bill for 5 or 6 months now, he's been trying to pass, would have been passed. But why is it not passing? Because Republicans are stopping it. So he does not have power. We don't even need a president, to tell you the truth, y'all. We don't need one. All we need is a ruling government that's a fair government, that's a government of God. That's what we need. We don't need a president. Sometimes I say, why do we even have one? Because anything he does, he has to get approval from the Senate, or the other side has to agree with him. You know what I'm saying? So what's the purpose of having him if he can't do nothing? Everything he do, you know, it has to be approved. So what's the sense of having a president? It's all a sham. Biden is in place to take the fall. I know. Y'all remember that vision I had about him in October? Nobody believed me that that Biden was going to win. And I had multiple visions of him winning. And one of the visions I told y'all, still on one of those videos on YouTube, I told y'all he was standing on the podium and it was so many people that was happy that he won. But it was blood all around him. Blood to the right, blood to the left, blood in the front, blood in the back, blood under his foot, and blood on top of him. You see all the bloodshed that has happened since he's been in office. The Lord was warning us. He was warning us. This is what you're going to get. This is what you're going to get. And now look at him. He at the lowest of the poll now. Can't nobody stand his butt no more. He at the lowest of the poll now. And he keep blaming Trump. You can't blame Trump for your mess. Trump ain't nowhere to be found. Okay? You know, and when his immigration policy was there, our borders were safer. Everybody says it. Even some of the Democrats say it. But now they didn't remove what he put in there. And now we got open borders and everybody coming in. If you go to Iran, you go to China, you go to these other countries, their borders are not open. Their borders is not open. We're come on in, everybody. No, our borders are always open and unprotected. See how Trump was building the wall, right? It was helping. Soon as Biden get in, and what he do? He stopped the wall. You got all this land that's unprotected that don't even have the border agents there. So we got terrorists coming in here. We got drug dealers coming in here. We got gangbangers coming in here. So that's why God said we have to pray. Because you don't know who is in this land. Since Biden has been in office, do you know how many people have come in this land that done snuck in this land, ain't been caught? Or the ones they did catch, most of them they didn't vet. And let me tell you something. They exempt from taking a shot. On the news, Biden's secretary talking about, they only plan on being here for a little while. Excuse you. They came thousands of miles to come here with the clothes on their back, and you say they only going to stay here, want to stay here temporarily. Okay, I get that. But anybody that entered this country, you are trying to force us to take a poisonous shot. That's right. And then our president going to have the audacity to say that our country is going to be a vaccinated country. But yet you letting all these immigration people into our country, and they ain't got to take a shot because you said they only going to be a temporary. The devil's a liar. I wouldn't care if they was here for a week or two. If you so concerned about COVID-19, Delta this, mute this, everybody that comes through those borders, you would have a jab waiting for them. You would have a jab. Do you know that people who work in the White House, including the president, they exempt from having to take these vaccines, but yet they go on TV and take a shot? Ain't had nothing in it but saline water. If they exempt from having to take it, Google it. You'll find out. If they exempt from having to take it, why would you go on national TV as a president and a vice president and take a shot that you know you exempt from, that you ain't got to take? And you know it ain't the shot. You know it's saline water because you want to deceive and convince the people to take that jab. You know what I'm saying? People in this country got to wake up. I ain't saying riot because I don't believe in rioting, nor does our Father. Rioting is a waste of time. It really is. People get hurt. People get killed. People go to jail. You become a target to the FBI. They put you on the terrorist list. So I don't recommend anybody rioting. But you know what I recommend you riot? Heaven. Riot heaven. Bombard heaven. Riot heaven with your prayers. Daddy don't mind. Riot heaven with your prayers. That's what's going to help us. Marching on the street, marching at the White House or the Pentagon or wherever you want to march at, that ain't going to get nothing done. All you going to do is get arrested, get on the terrorist list, FBI watch list, somebody get killed, somebody get hurt, go to jail, you're going to lose your job, whatever the case is. Nah, you riot heaven with your prayers. God is the only one who can save a land. No man on this earth can save a land. He gave us dominion, it's true. But remember, he created these lands that we stand on. He created this earth that we reside in. He created the spiritual realm. He created everything. So if he created everything, what makes you think that man can save anything when man had nothing to do with the creation in the first place? Man is the benefactor of everything that God has created. So how can man fix this earth or fix this world? Only God can. How can man save a nation? He can't. Only God can save a nation. Only God. And everybody is looking to the government, looking to this, looking to that. They can't help you. They the ones that's against you. They enemy number one. They are the traitors. They the ones selling us out. And God trying to wake you up. God trying to wake you up. Like Jeremiah, the prophet Jeremiah. How long did he warn Israel? What they do to him? They beat him. They stomped him. They kicked him in the butt. They threw him in a pit. They threw him in jail. They let him smell and stinky. Didn't want to feed him. Nothing. But he kept speaking the truth. Why? Because he was a true man of God. He was a true messenger. He was a true prophet. And he did not fear because he knew his God would not let him be killed. When they got ready to kill him, the girl that he was supposed to marry jumped in the front of him and she took the depth of the sword. And you know why? Because God put her there. Because he promised Jeremiah would not die by the hands of man. He would die by the hands of God. He promised Elijah. He promised Enoch the same thing. You will never die by the hands of man, but you will die by my hands. You get it? All the apostles, they died by man's hand because God chose them to, except for John. He promised John, you would not die by man's hand, but you will die by my hand. So some of God's people died by his hand. Then others he allowed to die by man's hand. So if you are a mouthpiece for God, prophet or not, and he tell you to say something, or he tell you to do something, and he tell you, you will not die by the hands of man, you will die by my hands. Then you don't be afraid to go out there and speak. Didn't Yeshua in the book of Matthew tell them, not just the apostles, it was many people standing around. He said, some of you will never see death. He says some of you will be just taken. Or some of you will just fall asleep and wake up and you're home in heaven. He said many of you will not see death. You think he was just talking about them people back then? Nah, boo. He was talking about us too. A lot of us will not see death. A lot of us will go to sleep and wake up and we home. Look at Stephen. They threw rocks at him, right? I think he was 16, the youngest apostle. They threw rocks at him, right? He fell down. He looked up. He saw the Messiah. Messiah took his spirit before they killed him. What? Don't mess with my daddy because he powerful. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of us ain't even going to see death. You're going to go to sleep and wake up and be in heaven. Or God just going to come and get you like he did Enoch and like he did Baruch and Elijah. Don't play with daddy. He the same God that he was back then. So you don't be afraid to speak anything that he tell you to speak. You don't be afraid You know who you need to be afraid of? You don't be afraid of man. And the Bible says in the book of Matthew, or is the book of Mark, it says, do not be afraid of what man could do to you. Be afraid of the one who could destroy the soul and the spirit. People think that's Lucifer. Nah, Lucifer can't destroy no soul and no spirit. He could take it. He could punish it. It could seem like he's destroying it. But only God ultimately can destroy a soul. Even if a person go to the abyss and they agree with Lucifer, like I taught you on the radio show, right? Still, God is the only one that could destroy that soul and let that soul merge with Lucifer. Lucifer ain't got no power like that. He ain't create nothing. He might have created his own little kids, but he ain't created us. He was over us, ruled over us, but he ain't created us. He ain't created us. He fell because of us. Because God gave us dominion over heaven. He gave us seats next to him on the throne. He gave us dominion over all the planetariums. He gave us dominion over this earth. And Lucifer ain't like it. Hagal. That's how you say his name in Hebrew. Hagal didn't like it. Which I rebuke Yeshua's name. Okay, so you cannot be afraid, guys, to speak the truth. And you cannot be afraid to pray. God said we have a responsibility to pray for the lands we live in. If you live in Australia, you live in Germany, you live in Canada, India, wherever you live, and y'all having the same issue like us, or either your country is full of idols and hoodoo, voodoo, and all that, you need to pray that the people eyes open and stop bowing down to these false gods and stuff and come to the one true God and repent wholeheartedly so that God can clean the land and make it milk and honey. You have to start praying this. Put it in your prayer every day. When you say it one time, then the next time you start thanking God. You be like, God, I thank you that people in this country and in this world is going to repent wholeheartedly. I thank you that they're going to receive you, the Holy Spirit and Yeshua. I thank you that they're going to put away their ideologies. They're going to put away their idols. They're going to put away this witchcraft, whatever it is they're doing. If they're atheists, if they idol themselves or idol a cow like they do in India, you know, whatever they idolizing, you think of, do you be like, Father, I thank you that you're going to clear out the government. You're going to clear out the corrupt government, and you're going to put your people in that government. And even some of them might not even be your people, but they will have a good heart and you could use them. And they could become your people. I thank you for doing that, Father. I thank you for making my land milk and honey so that the people will not run from the land, Father, but they will stay in the land that they have been placed in Yeshua Jesus' name. You got to understand something. Although the governments on this earth changed the name of many countries, right? Especially in Africa. Okay. Changed the names of many countries, right? But every country had a name, right? Every nation had a name and a group of people in it. So obviously God wanted people to be in their own lane. Because in the beginning, when they, made that frequency and they was all speaking the same language, which wasn't God's language anymore. It was the language of Baal, because Nimrod taught them that and they started bowing down to God. What did God do? He separated them by giving them different languages. And then what happened? They dispersed in different parts of the earth. So it was meant for us to be in different parts of the earth. So we are meant to stay wherever we're going. I'm not saying you can't relocate, move out of state, move, overseas, but you should pray and ask God before you move anywhere. People move all the time and wind up getting killed. People go on vacation to Hawaii and never come back. Look at the young lady, 22 years old, with her fiance on YouTube. They went blogging, right? And he winds up killing her. 22 years old. You never fly anywhere, catch a train, drive anywhere, especially if you're going out of state or to another country, unless you get the approval from God. Because sometimes you're not meant to go to certain places, or it may be a season that you're not meant to go there, maybe later. But if you don't pray and ask God, should you go? How many people, I know many people, you hear it on the news. I even had it happen in my family. People I know, they go on vacation or they move here and they get killed. God, I said, God, like somebody went to Hawaii. It was a couple of weeks ago. I saw it on the news. The couple went to Hawaii, then it was, and they died. And then it was a couple right here in Georgia with a baby. They went hiking in some mountains where they shouldn't have went. And there was some type of gas poison in the mountain and they're all dead. Guys, God didn't make the mountains for us to be climbing for leisure. We gonna climb them mountains when he come. He ain't make them mountains for you to be climbing. You ain't got to climb no more. Our ancestors had to do that. We don't got to do that. You need to stay off of them mountains. You want to climb all the way up to Mount Everest for what? That's your pride. You want to be able to say, oh, I climbed Mount Everest. Well, what are you going to get out of it? Really? People need to start praying before they go places because they could lose their life. Didn't God tell me to tell y'all last year, don't be outside when it get dark unless it's absolutely necessary? And if you out there, be with somebody. Look at how many people getting killed down here in Georgia. Every time a death comes, 7 of them already this past week. It'll say 1 a.m. in the morning, 3 a.m. in the morning, 11 p.m., 10 p.m., 12 p.m. I'm like, all these people, girls getting missing down here left and right. They were last seen at 1 p.m. walking here, walking there. What is you, 18-year-old girl? They just found her body. She was out 1 o'clock. What? 18? Really? Come on. He said, don't be out in the dark unless it's absolutely necessary. Why you think he told me to tell y'all that last year? Because he see what's going on. All right, so I hope you guys understand what I just told you that God wanted me to tell y'all, because this is what me and him was talking about. So please, include your country wherever you are. And then pray for all of these nations on this earth. I don't care if they Muslims, whatever it is. Pray for all the nations on this earth. Because if we don't, our own nation could collapse. And other nations could collapse right along with it. Pray that he helps America to take, and these other nations to take their foot off of these people's money, so their money can progress and their land could progress. There's no reason why Africa could be in poverty the way it is when they have all the gold, all the silver, every jewel you could think of on the planet, every mineral, every animal on the planet. And Africa is like the most beautiful place on the planet. It is. That's the motherland. That's where our ancestors started. The Israelites, the Ibrahim, they call them Hebrews, but they're the Ibric people, the Ivory people, the Ivory Coast. Read your Seepter Bible. It'll tell you that. Buy some books off of Amazon like I have and study about your people. That's the motherland. It got everything over there. Everything. That Israel, you can't find no animals over there. You can't find beef or lamb too much over there. Okay? So how is Israel the motherland? They ain't got a diamond over there. Ain't got a jewel. Hardly got any minerals. All they got is gas. Everybody got gas. Texas got gas. All right? They ain't got nothing. But when you go to Africa, they got everything. Everything. And people can't even realize that. Like, wait a minute. Africa got everything. Israel ain't got jack. I've been to Israel, okay? I've been there. You can't even find lamb over there. All right? You can't. And then in Kentucky Fried Chicken, they sell lamb meat. Camel meat. I've been there. So people need to wake up and start and pray extra for the country you in, and pray for Africa, because that's the true motherland. That's the true land. That's where it all started. You know what I'm saying? So pray. We just got to pray. We got to pray hard, because when we go before the Messiah, when it's our time, he going to be like, why you didn't pray for the land you lived in? Why you didn't pray for all the other nations to repent and come to me? He's going to have all these questions, and you ain't going to have no answer. You're going to be scratching your butt in your head. Oh, I don't know. I'm sorry, though. I repent. Get from before me and go get in that fire. When it's all said and done, you're going to be with Lucifer. You ain't coming out. You're going to be forgotten about, like it says in the book of Revelations. You know what I'm saying? I'm Haitian, and I agree with what you said. Yes! Look, my husband, before he passed away, he was half Haitian. Okay? So, I used to roll with Haitians. I dated a prince that was from Haiti. He was a bona fide prince. Every time he picked me up, he had a different car. But I found out that he had a wifey back in Haiti. And he was trying to get married over here so he can get citizenship and have a harem of wife. It don't go down like that with me. I ain't sharing my man with nobody. No, it ain't happening. So I know about Haitian people. I love my Haitian people. And I know a lot about Africans and Jamaicans because I dated them. I even dated a Dominican guy. So I'm kind of versatile. You know what I'm saying? But I love every nation on the planet because God made them. I have nothing against any nations, but you have to tell the truth. America got some stench with them too. You know what I'm saying? And I'm an American, you know? That goes to show where the real motherland is, not Israel. Yeah, we are the Iberic people. We are the Iberic people. And anybody, like it says in Romans 8, anybody that accepts the Messiah, that's not an Iberic or Ivory people, you get grafted in. You are adopted in. So you could be white, green, blue, red, yellow. It don't matter. You still are an Iberic person too. An Ivory person, an Israelite too. Because you got grafted in. Your branch got grafted in on the tree of life, right? So you are a bona fide Iberic person too. Doesn't matter if you white, black, don't matter. Green, yellow, Spanish, whatever. European, from the UK. If you from Russia, it don't matter. You accepted the Messiah, so you are grafted in. You know, God made room for people on the tree. You know? Yeah, my daughter spoke about these things together on today. Wow. That's right. God can use anybody. Didn't God use a donkey in the Bible to talk to the man? All right. God can use anybody. The donkey turned around and talked to him. Apostle, in science, they teach us that all the nations used to be connected. What they call, I don't know, was that real? Oh, I don't know about that one. I got to go look that one up. I never heard that one before, that all the nations were. Well, I know in Africa, because I have that map. It was like $100. And on there, it has parts of Africa named after King David, Solomon, named after the apostles. Some of the lands was named after the prophets. And I know Iran was Persia. And America was called something else. It wasn't America. I forget what it calls it. Because America is actually, it looks like America is by the Euphrates. That's what it looks like. And the name, it started with an E that they used to call America. But America on the map looked like it's next to the Euphrates River. Now, the Euphrates River is way far from where we at now. So where we at now may not even be the true America, guys. I'm keeping it real with you because I got the map, right? I got the map of Africa and I got the map of America, right? And in America, where America that's on that map does not fit this America where we are. I believe America was somewhere else, and they just took this part of the land and called it America, because George Washington really was, and the real George Washington was black anyway. Do your history. He was really a black president, okay? A couple of our presidents were black, but they whitewashed them, all right? So George Washington, and then I did another study. George Washington was not the first one. The black George Washington was not the first one to find America. America had already been discovered, right? So they don't want you to know that America had already existed because they keep saying, oh, America's not in the Bible. Oh, yeah, America's in the Bible. It wasn't called America. It was called something else. And if you get those really, really old Bibles, you can see. And if you buy the map, you invest in those maps, you'll look at that map, you'll be like, wait a minute. America is not sitting there. So even America has been tampered with. This land that we in, the probability of it being the true America is most likely not, because on the map that I have, it doesn't sit where it's supposed to sit. So this may not even be the true America. It may not even be the true America. They done moved everything around on the maps, guys. They done renamed all of this. And in Africa, it had the names of the kings. Cush, even one place was named after Cush, the king. Even Nimrod had a name on there. And they moved all those names and put all these different things like Ghana, Nigeria, Johannesburg, stuff like that. They changed all the names. They like whitewashed out everything. But thank God these maps, still exist so that you can see the truth. And if you invest in books like I did on Amazon, Barnes and Nobles, and other places, they have things in those books that prove to you that all of Africa was renamed. Persia was renamed. And anyway, Iran, where Iran is, that's not where the original Persia used to be. That's not where Iran is today. That's not where the original Persia was. And where Egypt is today, that is not the original Egypt. So everything's been changed. And Israel never existed until 1948. There was never a country called Israel until 1948. And they got that from the Bible when God so-called changed Jacob's name to Israel. That's where they got the name from. If you look at all the maps from history, you will never see a country called Israel. It was called something else. And Yah walked through Africa. He walked through the tectonic plates of Africa. That part of Israel over there is the tectonic plates of Africa. So he walked through Africa. There was never no nation called Israel until 1948. Until 1948, that country's name never existed. That was Africa. They took that land from the Ottoman, Turkish Empire and the Pakistani Empire. America did it, and Greece went into war with those Ottoman Empire and the Pakistani Empire and wiped them out and took that land and put these Polish and Greek people in the land and called them Israelites and slapped the name Israel out the Bible. Do your history. It used to be on Google, but when I Googled it a couple of months ago, it wasn't there no more. A lot of stuff that I Googled and then I was able to find the books and the maps, they ain't there no more. They done took it off. Because they don't want you to find it. They took it off. You cannot find a map before 1948 that had Israel on it. Not a one. As far as I know of. Not a one. But if people would take their time and study and seek God, he'll lead you to these things like he did me and many others. And then you would know the truth. You wouldn't be fooled. And then you look at these TV churches, right? These televangelists. And then, other churches. And what do? They're always telling you give money for Israel. Or you'll get the Hanukkah blanket. Or you'll get the blanket with the David star. Or you'll get this and God will bless you. The devil's a liar. A lot of them theologians and preachers know that that's not the true Israelite, but they getting rich off of it. Send this donation. They show these old videos of Israelites that's hungry. I'm looking at. I'm like, Daddy, that's an old video, but they be trying to make you think it's new, and they tell you, oh, send $100 or send $5,000, and you'll get this horn or you'll get this praise show. I'm like, Daddy, that video is old as day. I was like, can't they even go over there and get a new video? I mean, bunch of crooks. I'm not saying all the televangelists that come on TV are crooks, but they got a lot of them. Because I was on TV, and I'm going to be on TV again, right? So, but not all of them, but a lot of them are. So you got to be careful with that. And look, is anybody really getting blessed from Israel? Israel stays in war. If that was the true country of God, why they stay in war? They've been in war since 1948. Why they don't get no rest, y'all? Why they don't get, have you ever thought about that? Since the existence of them since 1948, why don't they get any rest? Why are they constantly in war? Why does every nation on the planet, even America, but America just act like they like them because they're allies, but they really can't stand Israel, right? So every nation on the planet hates them. Why? Because they know they're not the Israelites. Iran, Turkey, all of them, they know they're not the true Israelites. They know it because Iran and Turkish people used to be black people before they was whited out. Pakistanis used to be black before they was whited out. We, the true Israelites, whited out. That's why they hate them. So if that was a true country of God, why do they stay in constant war? Why? Why? You even have countries, presidents have written to televangelists that be on TV telling them that your black people are the true jewels. Adolf Hitler wrote a book and said America has stolen the jewels of God, the black people. That's why they hate it, because they know those foreign people in the Middle East over there know they're not the true Israelites. But yet these churches is getting all this money. Talking about, oh, we got to donate. Do you know that country, Israel, over there is very rich? That country is very rich in Israel. I've been there. You should see the cars. You should see the buildings. Pat could tell you she been there too. You should see the buildings. See the hotels. I'm not saying they ain't got no little poor parts. We even went through some of them. And they didn't look bad. The only one that looked bad was the Pakistanians. And they don't get water every day. They got these big old things on top of their rooftops that the Israel people fill up once a month. And sometimes the water runs out and they don't even have water to wash with. So that was basically the only really, really poor part. If you go to their jewelry stores over there, a gold bracelet, let's say 18 karat, 22 karat, over here might run a gold bracelet, what, maybe 5 to 7, over there, 17,000 or more. Pat will tell you USA dollars, okay? USA dollars. And they don't like black people. And they only had 2% of Ethiopians over there, and they done kicked them out. All right. It'd be different if I never went there. I went there and spent, 8-9 days there. So I got to see. Okay. That's a rich country over there. They don't need no money from us. If anything, we could get some money from them. A pack of what? Who is this? You know what? You about to get blocked because you a scammer. You ain't here trying to scam somebody to make them think you need some diapers. Let me block this person. Hold on. Bunch of scammers trying to get you to send them some money so they can scam your butt. Don't even know this person. Have you ever seen this person on here that was asking for diapers, y'all? I ain't never seen nobody on here with that name. So I blocked them just in case, because they got a lot of scammers. Do you know somebody? You know my Gmail that I let y'all see so y'all could send me proof that you wanted the exemption letter? Somebody emailed me with this foreign funny name with an attachment talking about I'm giving you Bitcoin. I was like, the devil's a liar. How you gonna give me Bitcoin when you don't even got my wallet? I deleted that. If I would have opened that thing, they would have hacked my phone, y'all. They would have hacked my phone. So you gotta be careful. That's why I'll be giving out my email. So now, you know, everybody and their mama got my business email, but that's on the website anyway. But somebody tried to pretend to send me Bitcoin so I could open it up and hack my phone. Yes, it is dinar. Yes, it is. It's biblical. You know? So, y'all better stop sending money to Israel. If any of you sending money to Israel because your church is telling you to, or these televangelists on TV, you better stop, because that's not the motherland. You know, the real motherland is over there in Africa, and the real Israelites is over there in Africa and in America. And they spread it worldwide. Doesn't the Bible say we are spread it in all four corners of the world? So then how can that country, Israel over there, be the true Israel when God said we spread it everywhere? And all he talks about is Africa, Ethiopia, and Egypt. That's all he talk about is Africa, Egypt, and Ethiopia. So what that tell y'all? That's the true lands. Because Egypt was once a part of Africa. So was Russia. But Russia is the colder part of Africa. But they split off Russia and they split off Egypt. And then the tectonic plates where the so-called Israelite is, they split that off by changing it on the maps. Good. You need to stop You need to stop sending money over there. And they be talking about, oh, you're going to get blessed. Yeah, okay, we're going to see. You know, how you going to get blessed and you sending money to the wrong Israelites? You sending money to the wrong Israelites. Really? Come on. Come on. And you know, and another thing, us brown people, bronze, because we come in all shades, so I call us brown and bronze people. We are some of the most hated people. You know, they hate Spanish people too. What other nations they hate? They don't like Africans. They don't like anybody that has this color. Cuban. If you have Dominican, you see how they doing the Haitians, right? They don't like anybody. So you got to understand why they don't like us. It ain't got nothing to do with slavery, because I'm going to tell you something. If they didn't like us, right, if they didn't like us, why would they go over there and enslave us? Okay, yeah, they enslaved our ancestors. But why did they have to go and get us, our ancestors, and bring us over here to do what they could do themselves? Didn't they build bridges before they went to Africa? Didn't they build houses and governments before they went to Africa? Wasn't America already built up before they went to Africa? They didn't need our ancestors to come over here and build any more cities or bridges, because they could have did it themselves. And if they didn't like us, the white slave masters wouldn't have raped or had affairs with the bronze women. And then the white women wouldn't have been so attracted to the muscly, glistening African chocolate man if they didn't like us. You ain't going to sleep with nothing you don't like. You're not going to share your body with nothing you don't like. You're not going to be attracted enough to rape something that you don't desire. You see what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? Right? But now they acting like they don't like us. You know, but now they're mixing with us like crazy. Like crazy. I read this book by this man. His name was Rashid something. He said the reason why a lot of the black men going to white women and the black women going to the white man is because of TV and entertainment. And I said, boy, he hit the nail. Because I explained to Pat the other day, she could tell you. Right? If you keep looking at a McDonald's burger, right? You know that burger ain't good for you, because that burger has been proven that it'll hold in your body for 6 months. So you know it ain't no good, right? But you keep seeing it all the time, right? And your eyes is the window to your soul, right? So your eyes keep seeing that McDonald's burger. Eventually, your soul is going to desire it. See, your desires come from your soul, then your heart. Because your 5 senses, actually, we have 6, but only 5 are activated. The other 6 get activated when you come to God, right? So your 5 senses are connected to your soul. Your eyes is the window to your soul. So if your eyes keep seeing it and desiring it, it's going to fall in your soul. And then your senses is going to pick it up, because your senses are connected to your soul. Then you're going to wind up finding yourself in Burger King after 17 years. McDonald's after 17 years of swearing off of it. You're going to find yourself desiring that Big Mac or that quarter pounder. Why? Because they kept showing you the commercial over and over. Now, if you are not strongly rooted in God, you'll go get that burger. But if you're strongly rooted in God, you'll see the deception and you will not fall for it. But if you're not rooted in God, you're going to fall for it. So if TV commercials keep showing black women with white men, or Latino women with white men, or Latino women with black men, or Asian woman with a white man, or Asian woman with a black man, or Asian man with a black woman. You know what I'm saying? If you keep showing these things on the commercial constantly, every movie you watch on TV and on the big screen, what's going to happen? You as a black man is going to desire the white woman, the Spanish woman, the Asian woman. You as a black woman, and you already fed up with the black man and his mess anyway. And then you upset because he going out dating other nationalities and mistreating you. What's going to happen? I'm going to go get me a white man. I've heard many black girls say that. I'm going to go get me a white man. Or I'm going to go get me an Asian man. Or a Spanish man. Why? Because TV and entertainment keeps putting it in your face. Keep putting it in your face. And then it's making you not even like your own. You got white people out there that don't. White people, let me tell you something about white folks, the lily people. They used to stick together. They would hardly ever go outside of their race. Only some of them would. But now white people is coming like the black people. A lot of them don't even like each other no more. A lot of them don't even want to marry their own kind no more. Spanish people, Asian people, they coming up out of their selves too. They starting to not like their own people no more, right? Black people been not liking each other. And that's what Lucifer wants, because if you don't like your own kind, then how you going to make seeds with your own kind? How you going to multiply with your own kind? If white people starting to not like each other no more, and they want to be with black people, or they want to be with Indian, or they want to be with Spanish, or they want to be with Chinese, then how can you make a true seed? That seed is not a 100% seed. It's a 50-50 seed. And that child is just as important as anybody. It doesn't matter if the child is 50-50. It's still a human being. So it's just as important. But the thing is, you white out your own self. Like black people are going to white out. Black people are going to black out the white people if this doesn't stop. And then the white folks is going to white out the black people, right? And then now the Asians is mixing with so many Africans. It's ridiculous, right? So they're going to wipe out a lot of the Africans. Then you got Hawaii. You got the Hawaiians and the Filipinos, and then some blacks over there from Great Britain going over there, and then everybody's mixing. So what's going to happen is our race, our color, our nationality, our tribes are going to decline, and they already are declining. They're going to decline. And then we have a third race, which is mixed people. Everybody gonna be mixed, and it's not. And then check this out. If you are Asian man and you marry a Spanish woman, she probably got black, Dominican, and this and that. And then the Asian man, he might have white and something else in him. So, you got a mixed races with 4 and 5 different, nationalities in them. So it's going to decline the tribe. So it's not just black people that need to start praying for their people to survive. White folks need to. Asians need to, although it's a lot of them. Spanish people, Indian people, you all should start praying that your races don't die out. Because even Indian people would never marry black people. They would always marry white folks. They would never marry Chinese and black. And they're doing it now. They're doing it. I just seen an Indian chick with black dude in the movies the other day. I was like, wow. And back home, I knew some black guys that was dating Indian chicks. And people from India would never, ever marry black people because they just don't like us. And then the dark people in India, they have it hard. They have to bleach their skin. So even they starting to mix with us. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, so the devil, he's not just trying to white out black folks. He's whiting out white folks. He's whiting out any nationality he can because he know God don't like us mixing. He want us to stay in the tribes because when you start, I know why God don't want us to mix, because when you start mixing, you start wiping out the tribes, and he doesn't want that. And then you make a third generation, which is what we have now, So I be preaching this and telling y'all these things because these are things that God talked to me about. Now, there's going to come a day when there's peace in this world, because Yah said it through the Bible and through the Third Testament that there will be peace in this world before all the other stuff start, right? And then the third Bible, he says that he's going to allow the tribes to mix, but he's talking about the brown and bronze tribes. Then you got the white people. He said he gonna make them into tribes, and then they'll have different tribes, and they'll be able to marry within those tribes. The Spanish people be able to marry in their tribes. He's going to do that. Because right now, white people don't have a tribe. But he said he going to get them a tribe. And he going to, different tribes. And he going to let them marry each other from the different tribes to stop the arguments and the religious things that they go through. But you're going to be in the same tribes. It's just like in the book of Jeremiah when the Hebrew men were married to the Moabites. God made them divorce them and send the children away and marry the black, bronze Hebrew women. So in that day, let's say you're from the Moabite tribe and you black. And let's say you're from the tribe of Judah and you black. You'll be able to marry. And let's say you the Lily people and he give you a tribe called the Danielans, right? And then he give you another tribe called the Lily tribe, right? He'll let y'all mix together. But you'll be the same tribe. You know what I mean? He's going to do that. And I'm not saying it ain't going to be any half-breed tribes, because if you read the Bible really well, especially the Septa, you will learn that there was half-breed tribes. And when I say half-breed, meaning one tribe and then this tribe, or one color and then this color. So he probably going to have tribes like that too, because we got a lot of mixture in the world. You know, we have a lot of mixture in the world. Then you have people who are grafted in and will be grafted in that's from another nationality. So he's probably going to have those kind of tribes too. But he's going to make it where everybody will be able to marry the different tribes, you know, within your tribe, right? To take away all the religious issues and problems that you have. That's in the Third Testament. But if you read the Septer, you can figure that out in the Septer as well. Because he has to do that because of all the mixing. All the mixing, you know, and then all the other nationalities that's grafted in. You know, everybody's not bronze. Everybody's not black, you know. But the bronze people is who he chose as his number one tribe. You know, so the other tribes are going to have to accept that. The first, actually, it was like 18. See, they discount the women. Like Diana, you know, Jacob's daughters and stuff. They don't count the women's tribes. But he had like 6 other daughters. So it's 18 tribes, you know. They just, you know how they whitewash the women. They've been whitewashing the women for centuries. So it's actually 18 tribes. And it is half-breed tribes, because you learned that in the book of Septer. So God's going to make an allowance for everybody. But the first tribes are going to be the chosen ones, which they are still to this day, you know. And I know what I'm talking about because, for one, he talks to me about it. 2, it's in the Third Testament. And if you understand the Septer, you'll understand it in there too. I know. Wait. Every time I try to read these things, I know a Hispanic lady that said God told her to marry this black guy. Now I'm questioning. No, he didn't tell her to marry this black guy. Because if you read the King James Bible, which is the old Bible, New Testament, Old Testament, what does it say? God does not like mixture. He does not like you to mix. He says that. It's in the Bible. So God ain't telling her to marry no black man. Because he don't like mixture. She told herself to marry a black man. God be talking to me all the time. That's why I told y'all, he said to pray for his bronze people. Because, you know, even though white people are mixing too, they don't hate each other. They may not like each other at times, but they don't hate each other. And when push comes to shove, they stick together. Black folks literally hate each other. Black men don't want nothing. Most black men, maybe 65% of them, don't want nothing to do with a black woman. And they talk so bad. It's a guy on YouTube. He think he a bag of chips and coffee, but he ain't. He real skinny. And he got a lot of followers. And he be talking so bad about black women. And then he even let them come live. And he just be embarrassing them. And I said, Daddy, you need to get this one. He is making a living talking bad about his own people. He came out of a black woman's womb. He just as black as he want to be. And he make a living talking bad about his own people. Okay, I understand you might not like your own people, but why you gotta go and kick their back in? Yeah, black women got issues. All women got issues. It just so happened that black women have more issues than most. And it's more black women that sing. Matter of fact, I read it the other day that the most single women on this planet is black women. And the hardest ones to get married is the dark-skinned ones. But the dark-skinned man has no problem getting married. But the dark-skinned women, she is one of the ones who is at the end of the tadpole. And you have more black women unmarried than any other nationality on the planet. Why is that? Because our black men either in prison or dead or going out with the other nations. Y'all, that's his name. Kevin Samuel. You're right. That's his name, Ingrid. That's him. Oh, he be talking so bad about black women. And then he have them come on the show and he embarrasses them. And he just is black and skinny and he ain't that cute. And he ain't a bag of chips and coffee neither. You know what I'm saying? And he making a living off of this. And people is agreeing with him. Even black women is agreeing with him. Yeah, black women have issues. All nationalities do. But we just have a little more. Okay? But that gives you no reason to badmouth the womb that you came out of. You came out of your black mama's womb. You know, that gives you no right to badmouth us. And black women, you should not be badmouthing yourselves neither. Okay? Because we are Nubian queens of the Most High. You know, and I love my white people because I got white people in my family. But I'm saying every man on this planet, especially black men, lift white women above any other nationality. Black, Latino, Asian, you name it. They lift white women higher than any other color. And that's not right. Because God did not make one single color to be supreme. He chose the Israelites as his first tribe for his own reasons. But he didn't lift them up to the point where others didn't count. If you read the Bible, you will see he was a very fair God. And he made a tree so that others can be grafted into. So you don't lift up one nationality over all the others. And you say, okay, white women are the most beautiful women on the planet. That's what they said. White women are the most beautiful women on the planet. I was like, the devil's a liar. You got some black women, some Latino women, some Indian women, some Chinese women that will run circles around a lot of these white women that they claim is more beautiful than anybody else. White women are gorgeous and they are beautiful, but they're just as beautiful as black, Indian, Chinese, African, Jamaican, whatever color you are. We all got beauty. But they make you think that the white woman with the European long silky hair that comes from the sea is the best hair. When the coarse kinky hair, it says it in the Sita, is the best hair. Because that hair is the hair that protects you from the sun. The hair that the white people have does not protect them from the sun. You know? Now, like I said, I love my white folks, and they have beautiful people, gorgeous men and women. But they're not the most beautiful, the most supreme. We all are on an even level. If you go into Chinese, you go in Japan, you go Korea, you go to Indonesia, you go to any parts of Africa, has some of the most beautiful women on the planet. America has some of the most beautiful women on the planet. There are some of the most beautiful black bronze women on the planet, just like it is white and Spanish. So you can't keep saying that the object of beauty is white. No, it's not. If that's the case, God would have just made white folks and nobody else. God himself wouldn't be as black as he is, because I've seen him 9 or 10 times. And Yeshua is my complexion, okay? And Mama Ru is a little lighter than Daddy. So if white was the most beautiful, then why is our God not white? Why is the Holy Spirit not white? Why is Yeshua not white? If white is the most beautiful, why is he black? Why is my God black? Why is my Ruach black? Why is my Messiah black? If white was the supreme color. And see, by teaching people that, it makes them have low self-esteem. Indian, Spanish, Peruvian, Jamaican, Quebec, wherever you're from, black people, it make you have low self-esteem. You want to be white. This is why black women keep going to get that fake European hair, because they want to be like the white women. They want to be like the white women. Do you see what they have done to the women on this earth? Telling them that the white women are the most beautiful. Everybody wants to be like the white woman, and they don't even want to be themselves. They don't want to wear their own hair. They hate their nappy, coarse hair or their curly hair. They hate it that it's short, or they hate it that it's long, and they think it's nappy. I want European hair, so I'm going to get some weave, or I'm going to straighten it with a hot comb, or I'm going to straighten it with a beveling iron, or I'm going to perm it so it could be straight. You see what the devil has done by lifting up the white women? And then a lot of the white women think they better than any other color on the planet. Not all of them, but a lot of them. And they even got jacked up in the head for thinking that. Yeah, the women in South Africa, they bleach themselves. The dark-skinned women in India are beautiful. They bleach themselves because nobody would want to marry them or give them a job. So do you see what the devil has done by saying that the white women are the most beautiful? Not everybody strives to be like them and not themselves. And it's even hurting the white women because they think they're the most beautiful. They think they're the most la cream of la cream. It's even hurting them. They being deceived because everybody is beautiful to God. And every nationality has some of the most stunning women. Look at how the black people mix with the white people. I'm going to tell y'all something. Y'all going to be like, whoa. When the blacks and white mix together, the baby comes out so pretty. Pretty curly hair. They mostly come out with curly hair. None of them really come out with straight hair. They come out with curly hair. Why they come out with curly hair? Because that's that black melatonin, right? Why? And they look black. And you could tell, I don't care how light-skinned and the person, because my grandmother was half Australian, half black. And she looked like Marilyn Monroe, but you could look at her and tell she was a black woman. But in those days, if you was real light like her, you could pass for white. But I could look at her picture and tell she got some black in her. So most people who got black in them, you could tell. Why do they come out so pretty and with that curly hair? I'm not saying they don't come out pretty because white people ain't pretty, because they are. But they come out pretty because they got that melatonin in them too. Okay? So that proves to you that we got black beautiful people too, just like the lily people. That's what I'm trying to say. A lot of Caucasians are going under the knife to have. Yeah, and now they want to, you know why they want to start having our booty? You know why they want to start having our booty and our hips and our breasts? They want our black men. Not all white women. Some white women are very content with their own kind. And some black men and black women are content with their own kind. But the majority of them now want the black man. And they know that black men love booty and nice voluptuous breasts and hips. They know it. They know it. So they going out there getting it. White men don't really care if you got a booty or not, because I've dated white guys and they don't really care if you, and I've talked to a lot of white people. They don't care if you have a booty or not. They care about, you being attractive and having a nice figure, but they care more about women with education. See, that's the difference between white men and black men. White men, they go after women, not only that they're attractive, they go after them because of their education, their intellect. See, black men go after you because of your butt, your breast, your hip, or your shape, or your beauty. They don't care if you're stupid. They don't care. They don't. I find that very true. They don't care if you're stupid. If you fine, that's all that matters. But a white man, he'd rather be with a woman that's educated and has intellect. That's my opinion. And you don't have to agree with my opinion. But that's my opinion. White men care more about your education and your intellect than they do more so your looks. Not saying they don't want a beautiful woman, but they would put intellect and education and money before they would put your beauty. Whereas a black man, he put all that on the back burner, and your beauty and your body is what he cares about the most. They even get... Yeah, they want the fat lips because they know what black men like, and they want to keep their black man. Okay? So they go and get booty injections. They get their breasts. They get their hips. They even get their eyes big because a lot of black women have big eyes. So they even get their eyes big. You know what I'm saying? They even get their eyes big and their lips because they want to be with a black man. That's just how it is. You know what I'm saying? So Satan has literally, turned people against their own people, and then you got a lot of white folks. They disown you when you go to a black person or Indian or Spanish or Chinese. They disown you. They don't want nothing to do with you. They call you traitors. You white folks know I'm telling the truth. They call you traitors. But in the black nationality, they don't care. Chinese people, the same thing. They don't want nothing to do with you neither, a lot of them, when they find out you done married outside the race. And it ain't just, but especially with black people, but it's with any race. I've done my history. I've studied this stuff. I have talked to people, and I know what I'm talking about. And what I'm telling y'all is nothing racist. It's the truth. It's the truth. And like I said, white women are very beautiful. But in every nationality, we have beautiful women. White women are not the most beautiful on the planet. They are not. They're not. It's so many other beautiful nationalities out here. You know, but the devil made it where everybody want to be like the white woman. He done deceived them too. And they're thinking, a lot of them think they are the most beautiful. Like back in the day, you used to have to fight against, let's say you black woman, right? And a Spanish woman. You used to have to fight against your own. If you black, you used to have to fight against black women from keep trying to get your man, right? If you Spanish, you used to have to fight against Spanish women to get your man. Now, if you black, you gotta fight against every nationality to keep your black man. And if you Spanish, you gotta fight against other nationalities to keep your man. Same thing with men. Now you gotta fight against white people, white men, Chinese men, all kinds. Cause Chinese is really marrying black people here in America and Africa. So now you got to fight against all these nationalities just to keep your man. And some of the white women, they are so bold. You can be with your man and they're still trying to take him because they think the white man the black man desires them more than his own woman. Because when you got all these black men going against the black women, talking bad about them, and the white women are looking at this, they're gonna think, okay, I'm much better because he doesn't even like his own kind. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. Yeah, you can't blame Kim Kardashian because they were already trying to mix. They were already mixing. The races were already mixing before she came, and black men have always been going and marrying white women and stuff like that. It's just that it's became more rampant because they put it in TV and commercials because they really trying to break the black family up. I believe they're trying to break the white families up. I believe they're trying to break up all the nationalities, all of them, because you guys understand they mix with us too, so they whiten out their own nationalities as well. So I think it was hold on, y'all. Hold on. I think it was meant to white out the black people, but it was also meant to white out other races as well. It's not just us that the enemy wants to white out. He wants to white out all the nations. He wants all the nations to be mixed. He wants all mixed nations. He don't want no more 100% black, 100% white, 100% Indian, 100% Chinese, Guyanese, Indonesian. He don't want that. But see, other countries are preserving themselves. Like Indonesia, you got some black people over there that's married to them, but it's not as rapid over there. In Sweden, you barely have any mixed races over there. Denmark, you barely have any mixed races over there. So it's some nations that are preserving their race. China tried to do it, but now you go over there, you see a lot of black people over there. Now, North Korea, I don't know if there's any blacks over there. I doubt it, but in South Korea, it's a lot of blacks over there. Like my brother in the Lord, his mother's from Korea, and his father's a black man, So some countries are preserving their race, but a lot of countries try to, and they can't anymore. But there are still some that is like in Egypt. You'll see black people, dark-skinned people in Egypt a lot. You may even see it in Iran. You may see it in Syria. It's starting to get worldwide because a lot of these nations are trying to prevent it, but it's very hard. But there's still some that have prevented it very well from blacks or any other nationality mixing in. Saying white people don't realize they are already mixed. Yeah, that's true. They already got some black in them because of their ancestors that slept with the black slaves. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. When they brought us over here, when they brought our ancestors over here, And the slave drivers started sleeping with the black women and raping them and having babies with them. And then the wives started sleeping with the black men because they was getting mad that their husbands was sleeping with the black women. That's when black blood started getting into white folks, because they brought us, our ancestors, over here to Africa. So a lot of the white people that's alive today, if they check their ancestry, they'll find out that they got black ancestors. They'll find out they got black ancestors. You know? So Satan been trying to white us out forever. Even back in the Israelites' days, what did he do? They was mixing with the black Egyptians. They was mixing with the black Romans. So he been trying to white us out forever. They was mixing with the Moabites. They was mixing with the Hivites, the Jezebites, the Tezebites. They were mixing. And God kept telling them to stop. If you read the Bible, you'll learn that he kept telling them to stop. And they wouldn't. Especially in the book of Jeremiah, he made them give up the Moabite women and the children and go back and marry the Hebrew women. So that tells you he don't want us mixing, because he don't want the different nationalities to be whited out. If he wanted us to be mixed, guys, we would have been born that way. Like I taught y'all, the lily people, that's what Daddy called them, they have their own planet. But they got here by two different reasons, and I've already told y'all those, but we'll talk about them again later. And they got here by two different reasons, through a treaty and through another way that I told y'all years ago that I'm going to go back over again in the future, right? So that's how they got here. This planet was for black folks, you know, for the bronze people. And so between the lily people and the bronze people, other nationalities came. Why? Because they were mixing. Okay? And Daddy knew this, and he made concessions for it. Although he didn't want it, he knew that it was going to be done, because he gave man his own will, and he made concessions for it. So he loves us all. And like I told you, you could have been white in your past life and came back black. Or you could have been black in your past life and came back white. And he does that sometimes, especially if you was a white racist. He'll let you be born black again so you know how I feel. And if you was a black person that was racist against Indian or Spanish, he'll make you come back as that. So you could pay back your karma to know how it feels. But Daddy knows every spirit. He knows every spirit that's of this tribe or that tribe or the Judah tribe. He knows who we are. But he will let you come back as other nationalities sometimes, because of maybe how you was in a previous life, and he wants you to know how it feels. Like you have to pay karma back for that. Also originate from. Yeah, that's true. That's true. They are called the Neanderthals, and they were cave people. They were cave people in the caves. And they were in some of the caves of Africa. You're absolutely right. Yeah, it's in the Bible, you know. But, you know, everybody's, you know, you still have to love people. Doesn't matter what color they are. Doesn't matter, you know. And you can't even say who's in the tribes anymore, because everybody's mixed. So let's say your husband was from the tribe of Benjamin. He don't know that, but let's say he was from the tribe of Benjamin, a black man, right? And he married a white woman or Spanish woman, right? They have kids, right? So that means that kid is part of the tribe of Benjamin, right? Then the woman is white. She don't really have the tribe yet, but if she's Spanish, a lot of the Spanish people come from some of the tribes as well. So you got a kid that's from two tribes, maybe even 3 or 4, depending on what you mix with. You know what I'm saying? You see how confusing that is? That's what God did not want, you know? But it's happened now. So he's just making concessions now, because he loves everybody. That's why he made 2 trees. The good tree, which was for the chosen ones, the Iberic Israelites. And then it's called the wild tree. If you go get that Bible that I have on Amazon, the 1611, it's in there. I gave y'all the scriptures where it tells you the white people come from the grass and the silk and the water, and that the brown people come from the dirt. It's in there. They just took a lot of those scriptures out, but it's in there, right? But he loves us all because the lily people have their own planet to this very day, just like he gave us this planet. Then there's other earths. That's in the book of Hebrew. It tells you other planets, other beings that he died for. Even in the book of Matthew, he says he died for other beings, right? So that means God loves everybody. And that means also he likes different colors, but he wants those colors, those nationalities to stay with each other because he don't want all that mixing. And that's in the Bible. You know what I'm saying? So it's just my assignment to teach the truth. It's not being racist because I don't got a racist bone in my body. Never have, you know? And I've dated outside of my own tribe, my own color. You know what I'm saying? But the truth has to be told because that's how you learn things, you know? And like I said, if you married to somebody that's a different color or different nationality, that's all right. God not going to make you divorce the person, you know, because we got the blood. You just repent because you didn't know. And you clean your heart out to God and let him and clean you up. And then you and your wife, regardless of what color she is, or you and your husband, regardless of what color he is, y'all get grafted in, like it says in Romans 8. And you live for God, you know. He's not going to make you leave your wife and your kid. I mean, he could, but I'm not saying he's going to do that like he did in the book of Jeremiah because we already have the blood. But I know the book of Ezekiel is going to happen again where he's going to call people out to the wilderness and introduce himself to them. And he is going to make some people part from each other. That's in the book of Ezekiel. So that's going to happen. You know, but I don't know if it's going to happen like the book of Jeremiah or not, but it's going to happen. And even in the book of Jeremiah, the ones who didn't obey them, he opened up the ground and it swallowed them. You know, so history is going to repeat itself again because that's in the book of Ezekiel. But all I can say to you right now, if you married outside of your tribe or your race, just repent and you just live right for God and he'll graft you in. You know what I'm saying? And you'll make it in, you know, because we all spirits, right? So when we die, does that mean that our spirit is mixed? You know, like your kid, half Spanish, half white, half black, right? And when it's time for that child to grow up and it's time for that child to go, is that child still going to be a mixed person? Nope, they're going to be a spirit of God. Okay, God knows the tribes in the spirit realm. He knows which spirit is in this tribe, in that tribe. Are you going to be a mixed person in the spirit realm? No, you're going to be the spirit from the tribe of Judah or from the tribe of Dan or the tribe of Diane or tribe of Moabites, wherever tribe you come from. In the spirit realm, that's where you're going to be from. You ain't going to be mixed because you're going to be a spirit. That's what I'm trying to explain to you guys. You're going to be a spirit. So this is why he made the tree of life, and then he made the good tree, and then there was a wild tree. So he made room for some of the wild tree because he knew all the Israelites would not do right by him. So in the end day, there's no spirit that God wants to perish. So when it's all said and done, you know, and it's time for Lucifer them to get into the furnace and be closed up and never seen again, it's going to be some human spirits in there with him, you know, because when the end comes and the salvation door closed, it's not going to be any more reincarnation. You know what I'm saying? So whoever's stuck is stuck, you know, so there is going to be some human creations, spirits in that furnace with Lucifer, because it's in all the Bibles, even the Sita, even the True Life, the Third Testament. It says he wants to save every soul, and many souls will be saved that we will be shocked about. But there's still going to be some that's going to be in that furnace with Lucifer because it's going to be their choice. It's going to be their choice. You also have to understand that every person on this planet is not human. Lucifer has some of his children on this earth too. They're not human. You got creatures on this earth that look human and they not human. You got lizards walking around on this earth that look human and they're not human. And they're mating with their own kind, or they could be mating outside of their own kind too, because they want to change the DNA of every person on the planet. And I asked God, I said, God, why does he want to do this zombie apocalypse stuff, right? And I'm going to have to go because my phone is turning red and ain't no plug out here. I asked God, I said, why does he want to do the apocalypse? Because y'all, like, okay, let me go plug my phone up because he want me to tell y'all this real quick before I hang up. I told y'all this a long, long time ago, but y'all probably forgot about it. And then I got a lot of new listeners. So, and then after I teach y'all these things, y'all need to be going to God. Hold on. Y'all need to be going to God and asking him if what I'm telling y'all is the truth. Just don't take my word for it. Hold on. Just don't take my word for it. Oh, y'all see all my vitamins. Just don't take my word for it. You go and pray and ask God, is this woman telling the truth? But like I told y'all a long time ago, some of y'all remember, and for you new people, you probably didn't hear this, but the Lord told me years ago that he had a brother. I know this is hard to believe, but he had a brother. And he was a God like our God, powerful like our God. And somebody had to be sacrificed for God's DNA to go in the dirt, because God could not die himself and put the DNA in the dirt. So his brother volunteered to do it. And whoever volunteered to do it, once they died, it could never be resurrected like Yeshua was, right? So his brother did it, and he was sacrificed, and his DNA got in the ground, which is the DNA of God. So this is why we were able to have the DNA of God in the ground, right? And just like when Yeshua came about 22 centuries later, what happened when he was on the Calvary? Where did the blood go first? In the earth. Why did the blood go on the earth? Because when Eve and Adam fell and decided to agree with a foreign god, which was Lucifer, because he was a foreign fallen god, not an angel, no one put it to the angels, right? When they agreed with him and they believed what he said and they partook with him, they gave him dominion unknowingly and unwillingly, right? So when the dominion came to him, the earth was once defiled again. Again, Lucifer's DNA was in the earth, guys, because Adam and Eve gave him dominion. So his DNA, it says he spreads through the earth like a green bay tree, right? In the Bible. So God had to find another way to cleanse the dirt, so the dirt can be reunited with his DNA, so that we can live through Yeshua and be reincarnated and not die and wind up in the abyss for eternity. So when Yeshua came, his blood and his water went in the earth first, and it shook the earth like an earthquake. Why? Because it was so powerful, because it was God's blood as well. It cleansed the entire earth of all Lucifer's DNA. That's what made Lucifer so angry. It cleansed the entire earth. It wiped out his DNA out of the dirt. So therefore, all who was alive then, that's why he was able to go to the abyss on the other side, which was paradise, and preach to them, because they had to hear the gospel before they go see God. Then they ascended up. Then he went to the other side and he preached to them, and a lot of them left with him too. And some in the abyss still didn't believe in him and want to go to him. And a lot of them was probably Lucifer's children. So then he came back up, and it says in the book of Matthew, he was seen 500 times along with many others, right? So he was able to go to hell and get the people out of the abyss. Why? Because he had cleansed the land that was defiled by Lucifer. So God's DNA once controlled the dirt, the sea, the water, the silk, the sand, and every being on the planet. And being that he resurrected, which really means he reincarnated, we were able to be reincarnated over and over. That's why we're eternal. He says we are eternal beings. How can you be eternal if you go into the abyss? Okay? The only ones that's going to go to the abyss is the ones who work for Lucifer, or the ones that God created that decide to just live for Lucifer. Those are the ones that's going to wind up in the abyss with him. But he keep reincarnating them. All these witches and stuff, he's reincarnating them. All these juju doctors, witch doctors, he's reincarnating them because they're his creation. And he's trying to give them a chance. He said, no soul shall be lost. If it's lost, it'll be because of your will. So that was the whole purpose of Yah dying for us, to clean the earth, to get God's DNA back in the earth, to remove the DNA of Lucifer's, and so that we can reincarnate over and over again. Because when we fell with Lucifer, it says it in the Third Testament, we were all in the abyss and we cried out to him. And he came and got us and renegotiated a contract with us in a new covenant and gave us a new scroll in our right hand. And then once we get in the wound and the flesh covers us, we can't remember anymore. Then he sends his son after that, centuries later, to die for us, so that we can live and he not lose us anymore. Now, did God know all this stuff was going to happen? Of course he did. He's daddy. He knows everything. But he allowed it to happen. Why? He gave us our own will. Even Yeshua was there when God was making us. The Holy Spirit was there when God was making us. Lucifer was there when God was making us. But Lucifer didn't see how he made us. And I don't know if Yeshua saw it, but I know the Holy Spirit did, right? And for generations, Lucifer's been trying to create an army of people like God, but he can't do it. So because he can't do it, what do he want to do? He want to change our DNA. That's what he's been doing the whole time, trying to change our DNA. If he can't kill you, he wants to change your DNA. The God says in the Bible that he must speed up the time, or else the very elect might not be saved. Now, why would the very elect not be saved? Especially if you're on fire for God. It's because your DNA is at risk of being changed. And he told me, if your DNA is changed, and these zombie things happen and all that stuff go into the dirt, it defiles the dirt, and it'll be hard to reincarnate the spirits, because they will be reincarnated with recycled dirt. I told y'all this. Recycled dirt. When you die, your body goes back in the dirt and gets recycled for somebody else. So if you got all this defiled DNA going in the dirt, how can a person reincarnate? When they incarnate, they gonna be born in this dirt, and this dirt has all the defilement in it. What's going to happen to the spirit? It's going to come defiled. It's not going to want to be with God. You get it? So this is why Lucifer keeps trying to change the DNA, because he knows he can change the structure of the dirt like he did with Adam and Eve. But it was easy with them because they believed what he said. So he got it by default. But now he can't get it by default because of the blood, right? So what he got to do? He got to change the DNA. And if you study the devil, if you study Lucifer through all the centuries, he has always had us mixing, and he has always been doing stuff to try and change our DNA. If you study like I did, you'll see this and you'll figure it out. He's just trying to change the DNA. So this is why you need to pray over everything you eat. When you go in the store and buy clothes, before you try them on, pray. Them, put the blood of Yeshua on them clothes and ask God to remove the person, anybody that tried on that dress, that skirt, them pants, that shirt, whatever. Ask God to remove their DNA. Even underwear, because some people nasty. Some people try underwear and bras. I don't think you should do that, especially if you ain't going to buy it. You should know your bra size, your panty size by heart. You know you know what I'm saying? So even those things, you need to pray over. Your food, like fresh food, tomatoes, all that. Like me today, I was in a grocery store. I think I touched about 15 tomatoes because I like my tomatoes very hard. I don't like them soft, right? So I think I touched about 15 tomatoes to try and get the right one, right? Many other people do the same thing. When you touch stuff, your DNA goes on it. So this is why you need to pray over your food, cans, whatever. Cover with the blood. Ask God to remove anybody's DNA that was on those cans, fruits, meats. Like when people do your lunch meat, you get your lunch meat cut up. People cook the chicken. Everybody don't wear gloves. You know what I'm saying? So you ask God to cover everything with the blood of Yeshua Jesus and remove all DNA of anybody on there, spiritually or physically. You have to be. I know y'all like, Apostle, that's too much. No, boo. If you don't want somebody else's DNA transferring to you through mouth or by clothes or touching, then it ain't too hard for you. Didn't eat my fruit that don't have. Yeah, they already know that, not to eat fruit without seeds. I told them that. So And the Apostle Paul said, you must pray over everything. Furniture, like, okay, me and Pat, when we went to go get my recliner bed, right? The guy was like, okay, you go lay in the bed and test it, right? So I prayed. I was like, Daddy, I cover myself with the bloody shoe of Jesus, and anybody else who laid in this bed before me, nothing will transfer. Because I don't know how many people have laid in that bed. You don't know how many people have sat on your couch before you got it. I mean, it came from the warehouse, it's true, but you still don't know. You know, the movers is moving it. You know what I'm saying? You just don't know. So Daddy tell me all the time, leave nothing to chance. Bananas don't have seeds. I ain't never seen no banana with seeds in it. America doesn't grow bananas, guys. Most of our bananas come from Ecuador, you know, different countries. Because the reason why they can't, I forgot what the guy told me. He told me the reason why America can't grow bananas is because our soil or something. Something like that, he said. But most of our bananas come from different places. But somebody told me that they clone bananas here, but I haven't seen that. I've been looking to try to find that, and I haven't seen that. But bananas are very good for you, because I eat bananas because I used to couldn't eat bananas before because it would constipate me. But after I got that blood clot, and the doctor told me bananas are very good because it has potassium in it and it keeps the blood from thickening, right? And he told me to stop taking vitamin K2 because vitamin K2 thickens your blood, and that's what I was taking. So I noticed for the past going on 6 weeks since I've been better, I eat banana like 2-3 times a week and I don't get constipated no more. Why is that? Because I eat way better, and God has changed the structures of my body because I'm eating better. So I love bananas now, and they don't constipate me. So I try and eat at least 3 or 4 a week, because you can have a banana every day, but they try and tell you, if you see some doctors on the TV, they'll tell you don't eat bananas and make you gain weight. That's a lie, because I Googled it. Or they'll tell you bananas are not good for you. That's a lie. They are one of the best fruits you can have, because it's good for potassium, and it keeps your blood from thickening. So have at least 1 or 2 a week. Yes, and bananas have fiber, and fiber is very, very good. And fiber fills you up. And another good vegetable to eat is chickpeas. I had a chickpea salad yesterday and the day before. Chickpeas have lots of fiber, so it fills you up. And they are extremely good for the body. Anything that has like good fiber in it and good nutrition in it, don't have all that fat, those things are good for you. You know, so try and have a banana once or twice a week if you like bananas. Everybody doesn't like bananas, but try and have a banana once or twice a week, because it's very good. It has potassium in it, and it keeps your blood from clotting. Because I learned a person could get a blood clog. A blood clog starts in your veins. That's where they start at. And they always start in your veins and your legs, and they travel through your body. And when they're ready to rear their ugly head, they can either get in your lungs. You have a chance to survive if it gets in the lungs, because what happens is you start losing your breath and can't breathe out of nowhere. That's what happened to me. And then you're able to go to the hospital. But if the blood clot goes to your brain, you might not stand a chance. And if it goes to your heart, you might not stand a chance, right? So most of the time, blood clots start in your vein, and it comes from you either sitting too long all the time and not elevating your legs, or like me, I have a recliner chair. I have 2 of them. They're very comfortable, and I used to fall asleep in them all the time. So when you sleep in a recliner chair, you can stretch your legs out, but not the way you can in the bed. So that can also cause clogs, because you're not letting your legs breathe. They're not being straightened to where they're supposed to be. And certain, if you eat seeds of grapes, they say if you eat too many grapes with seeds, because some people eat the seeds. You're not supposed to eat the seeds. So if you eat a lot of grapes, if you eat lemon, some people will crush up the lemon seeds, and they have arsenic in them. And some people will crush those seeds up and put them in their smoothies or use them as seasoning. Any plants that have seeds, you're not supposed to eat the seeds, because those can cause blood clots. And it also, if you eat too much melon, the yellow one or the green one. You can eat it, but if you eat too much of it, that could cause a clog. It said grapes. It was something else I can't remember. But you can have these things, but if you eat too much of them, it's something in these fruits that can cause a clog. And what else did it said could cause a clog? Oh, if you're not getting enough fiber in your body, if you're not getting enough potassium, if you take too much vitamin K2 and too much of vitamin D. So I asked Daddy, I was like, Daddy, how can I take the vitamin D? He said, take it like 2 to 3 times a week and do the liquid. So that's what I do. But the vitamin C and the iron, the zinc, and the elderberry, I take that every day, and it's liquid. But the vitamin D, I'm only going to do like 3 times a week. Only 3 times a week. And the vitamin K, I'm never taking that again. Yeah, oatmeal is very good for you. Yes, garlic. I eat a lot of garlic because garlic will thin the blood too. Ginger will help keep your blood thin. It was garlic, ginger. Oh, and apple cider vinegar. So what I do is every other day, I take 2 teaspoons of apple cider vinegar in an 8-ounce glass of water. I take a half a teaspoon of honey because 1 teaspoon of honey has 14 to 16 grams of sugar. So I take a half a teaspoon of honey, and then I put a teaspoon of lemon or lime. I mix it, put it in the microwave for a minute so it get warm, and I drink it. Not only does that melt your stomach fat or, any other fat you have, it also helps to circulate through your blood. So I drink it every other night because, I sing. And too much apple cider can burn your vocal cords, damage your vocal cords, where you could still talk and stuff, but it could damage your vocal cords as a singer. Like singers never drink apple cider vinegar. Singers never drink lemon. So I do it every other day. So like 3 times a week I'll do it to help with fat loss and for my blood to circulate. And that's why you have to mix it with 8 ounces of water, and you need a silver straw. You could go to eBay or Amazon. And the reason why you need a silver straw is because if you drink it straight out of the glass or with plastic straw, the apple cider vinegar and the lemon can eat off your enamel. So if you have a silver straw, it won't ever touch your enamel. So you have to be careful with the apple cider vinegar and lemon. It's good for you, but you can't, if you could drink it every day, go for it. But if you sing or you a person that talks, have to speak and all of this stuff, I would only recommend it 2 or 3 times a week. And after a couple of weeks, I would recommend you stop and let a couple of weeks go and then do it again. And then stop it when you don't need to do it anymore. Because it will eat at your vocal cords, that apple cider vinegar and that lemon. And this is why you need to warm it. Because when you warm it, it takes away some of the acidity in it. If you drink it cold, it's full acidity in it. But if you warm it, it takes away some acidity in the apple cider vinegar and the lemon. So it'll help your throat. Oh, vitamin B12 is good. But the problem with vitamin B12 and vitamin E, God forbid you have to have a surgery, you could bleed out. Especially with the B12 and the vitamin E. So that's why, God forbid, if you ever have to have a surgery, you have to let them know you take vitamin E and B12. Or God forbid, if something happened and you have an emergency and you can't tell them, you are at risk of your body bleeding out. Because vitamin E and vitamin B12 thins your blood. That's why you got to be careful with these vitamins. Some of them will thin your blood. That K2, oh my goodness, that contributes to it. I was taking that and vitamin D3. I was taking the vitamin K2 mixed with vitamin D3. Plus I was taking 2 vitamin D3. So I was taking like almost 3 vitamin Ds a day and two K2s a day for like 2 years. And so Daddy said that the liquid is better. So I buy all liquid vitamins and I don't mess with the gummies no more because there's too much sugar in the gummies. ACV shots can cause cancer. Yeah, because of that acidity in them. Yeah, the ACV ain't no joke. And they say the best one to take is the mother. Like, I got a big old jug of it from Amazon. I think it was like $24. It's called the Mother AC. It has Mother on it. It has the word. See, the ones you be buying in the grocery store, a lot of them don't have the Mother on it. If you want to get the Mother, you would have to go to like a Whole Foods or order it from Amazon. You don't have to get it in a jug, but I just got it in a jug, right? And it has to have Mother on it. That's the best ACV to buy. Yeah, but they say the Mother is the best one. It has to have the word Mother on it. If I was downstairs, I'll take a picture of it and put it on Facebook so y'all can see what I'm talking about. That's supposed to be the best one. Yes, that stuff that sits at the bottom. Yeah, now you got to shake it up. Yeah, you got to shake it up. All right, so let me tell y'all a vision real quick because my voice started to get hoarse. I had a vision. I saw the military, like our military, and they had these black coverings around their nose and their mouth. Like, I've seen them wear it before, and I saw them bust into 3 labs. 3 labs. These labs, they was making something like a biological weapon. So I don't know if it was labs in America or in another country, but it was our soldiers. I saw them in their green berets and stuff like that, right? Their suits, their whatever they wear, right? And their black boots and their combat hats. And they had these rifle guns and stuff. And they broke in 3 different labs because these 3 labs was making biological warfare, chemical stuff to come against us. So one of them was a Chinese lab because I saw all Chinese people. That was the first one they broke in. But the other 2, I couldn't see the nationalities in the other 2. But I saw the nationalities in the first one. And they I don't know. I'll just say Asian because I don't know if they was Chinese, Japanese, Indonesian, Korean. I don't know what they were, but they were Asians, right? And they broke into that first lab. And they took that, the United States Army took that lab over. And they were trying to destroy this chemical warfare. And so then it went to the other scene. And they went into the other one and did the same thing. Then it went to another scene. And they went in that lab and did the same thing. But I couldn't see the nationalities in the other 2. So there's some foreign countries. And one of them is an Asian country. They're making something chemical, like a bio warfare thing. It could be a virus, whatever it is being made to come against us, to hurt us. So you guys need to pray and have your families pray against any chemical warfare that any country, especially an Asian country, that is going to try and come against us. And the American soldiers stopped it. So I don't know why they stopped it because, America be doing some crazy stuff to their own people. But they stopped it in time. So that means, the Asian country and these other 2 countries that's coming in agreement with the Asian country that want to do this to us, it's going to be stopped by the hand of God. That's what I think. And the fact that I'm telling people to pray and then you pray, and then we get this out here and tell people to pray, you know what I'm saying? So that's why God showed the American soldiers, because it's going to be stopped just in the nick of time. Because in the vision, I got this thing where it was just about done. It was just about done. And they was going to do it, because they were just about done with it. And they were going to do it. But the American soldiers had stopped them just in time. Yeah, we can't catch a break. Wuhan was working on a nanoparticle skin. What? Are you serious? Wuhan again? Y'all remember that dream I told you? I saw it in China, and Nancy Pelosi was in there, and they gave her the virus in a bottle, and she put it in her suitcase, and she got on a plane and came back here. Y'all remember that? And then it came to pass. They said Wuhan, China was making it. I was like, what? Yeah, and so maybe that's what it is. That maybe it was China. I saw in the vision. But y'all need to pray, because it's an Asian country and 2 other countries in agreement with them. Maybe Russia, I don't know, right? And they all was making this biological poison. It was different ones. You know, if they would have finished, it would have been 3 different ones that they was making. So like the Asian people in that lab was going to try theirs first. And if that don't work, then the second lab was going to try theirs. If that didn't work, then the last lab was going to try theirs. It's like they wasn't going to give us a break. You know, if the first one didn't work, the second one didn't work, then the third one was guaranteed to work. But the Americans stopped it. So it must be something that they're not a tribute to the government, you know, and they don't want it to stop. But the soldiers stopped them. And they arrested them. And it was so many. I mean, it was a lot of Asian people in this lab. It was a big lab. And then the other 2 labs, they were just as big. But I could not see the nationality of those other 2. God would not let me. But I saw the Asian one. They was the first one. Iran and Russia just officially partnered with. Oh my gosh. Are you serious, Danner? Y'all see that? He just said Iran and Russia just partnered with China. I bet you one of them was Iran and the other one was Russia. God only let me see China. And you know why God let me see China? Because China is the leader. China is the leader. I assume they are the ones that got the other 2 nations to join in with them and do this. So that probably was Russia. I said it might have been Russia. And the other one could have been Iran. So you know what? We need to pray that if China, Russia, and Iran is planning anything biologically for our country, we need to cancel that. Pray against it. And then we need to pray that any nation that's getting together with China to come against us with these biological warfares, that God stop it. Because it is going to be stopped, guys. Because I saw the American Army, and it was a lot of them. And they had on their green, I call them berets, their green stuff they wear, their warfare hats. They had on the hard ones. They had on them black big boots they wear. They had rifles. Oh, man, it was not playing. And it was white, black ones, Spanish ones, Americans. And they stopped every last one of them. Yes, they had some big meetings the other day. What? So it's them. I bet you it's Iran and Russia. But still pray. Any nation that, try that. But I bet you those other 2 labs were Russia and Iran. I bet you. I know. I bet you. So they're going to try chemical warfare. But it ain't going to come to pass, guys, because Daddy told me it ain't going to come to pass. Because I saw the American soldiers. They weren't playing. And it just like it was a whole bunch of them in them labs, it was 3 times more soldiers that came in. And they caught them off guard. Because I'll never forget, the Chinese, when they went to the Asian one, when they busted through the door, I saw the Asian people, the Asian men, it was like all men, stood up. They were shocked in the mug, and they put their hands in their hair. And then the soldiers was going in there destroying what the chemical warfare that they was making. They was literally destroying it. So whatever they planning against us, I know it was an Asian nation, so it probably most likely is China, and it's probably most likely Russia and Iran. God's not going to let it go through. Because remember I told you, God said Iran is going to almost collapse. But they're not, but they're going to almost collapse. So we're going to see that. Maybe China. And remember I told you it was another country that bailed them out. I thought it was Turkey. It might be China and Russia. Because I saw a foreign entity. I saw a foreign country bailing them out. So it might be China or Russia that bails Iran out. But they're going to almost collapse. But they're not, because it's a country that's going to bail them out. Yes, Target. Wuhan was working. Yeah. Matter of fact, I think that meeting was some sort of financial backing with Iran. What? There's a statue of Mao and another communist leader statue. What? So they was talking about back and so. So you know what? Iran could be collapsing and we just don't know it. Because Daddy said they were going to almost collapse, but another country was going to save them. So they could be collapsing right now. We just don't know it. That's probably why they broke off from the American dollar, because China and Russia is going to back them financially. And then God told me, and I told y'all, that he said that they was going to try and tank our dollar. Remember I told y'all that? But it's not going to happen. But it's going to tank our dollar some. But it's not going to tank our dollar to the point where we collapse. And that our dollar was going to bounce back. And y'all remember 5 years ago when I saw the euro collapsing, then I saw our dollar collapsing, and the euro dollar collapsed twice like I saw, and our dollar didn't collapse, but it went down 5 to 10 points like I said. So now God is telling me again that they're going to try and collapse our dollar, and I told y'all that last month. And it's gonna collapse some, but it's not gonna collapse us, and we're gonna bounce back. So y'all just got a lot of praying to do. That's all. You got a lot of praying to do. Because anything that happens in this country, or anything that happens in the country that you reside in, is going to affect you. You know what I'm saying? And yes, we Christians, we Elohim children, and yes, we pray, and God has got us through the pandemic. Like this lady today, CVS, she talking about she was an infectious disease nurse. Like, I was being nice to her, but at first, right, she was leaving, and she tried to punk me. She was like, you need to put your mask on. I said, what? Excuse me? She was like, you need to put your mask on. I said, you know who my mask is? God. She said, well, I'm an infectious nurse. I said, I don't care. I said, the Lord got me through this pandemic. I don't need no mask. Bless you. She kept it moving. I'm like, the nerve of her. And I was like, she lucky she met a child of God, because she could have got punched in the face. Because they going to restaurants beating up people for saying that. And Pat was like, oh, she was very prideful. And who cares? You an infectious nurse. If you really was that smart, you would know that doggone mask is making it worse too. If you was that smart. I was like, Pat was like, what? I said, she did, the nerve. If she'd have met me around the corner 15 years ago. What? I see, but God teach me. I put God in the mix. I don't let people get me upset no more. Because people crazy now. You don't know if they packing a gun, machete. You know what I'm saying? And I know God protect me. But you got to be smart in the same token. You know what I'm saying? So if you got to let somebody punk you, oh well. Just keep God in the mix. You're going to be all right. Because the devil will send these kind of people to get you mad, to get you in an argument, so he could get at you. Yeah, I do. And then, like I told y'all about the lady in the bank, right? And she was getting all nasty with me, and she was in the wrong. And then in the end, I said, God bless you. Her whole demeanor changed. She was like, God bless you too. I'm telling you, and God will never fail you. If you put him in the mix, he will never, ever fail you. And when I tell people God bless you, I really mean it. I'm not just saying it to diffuse the situation. I really mean it. Because if you tell them God bless you, then they got an opportunity and an open door for God to bless them and for them to get right with God. You know what I'm saying? So you don't just do it to diffuse the situation. You do it from your heart. Because when you tell somebody God bless you, you really should mean that. Because that could open the door for their salvation. Or they could be going through something. They could be homeless, hungry, getting divorced, whatever the case is. Kid could be acting up. You tell them that. You actually saying, God, will you bless this person? And God is the only one that knows what they need. You know? So you should make it a habit of that anyway when somebody, and even when they don't make you mad. Like when I be talking to people and I be walking away or hanging up the phone, I be like, you have a blessed day or a blessed week or God bless you. And they be like, thank you. God bless you too. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they found that those blue masks made in China. Well, the CDC said that no mask really works and that the N95 is the only one. And even that one isn't 100% secure. But yet they still keep telling you to wear them, right? I mean, it's 2 years. When did this pandemic start? January, right? It started a week after I went home. I went home in January 2020. I thought I was moving back home then, right? And so I was going to stay an extra week. And God told me, and I told y'all this. He was like, Rosalind, if you don't get on that plane and go home, you'll be stuck here for 4 months. Sure enough, I got home a week later. The pandemic started. They started shutting stuff down in February and March. I was like, whoa, right? So this January will be 2 years. Longest pandemic ever. And that Alexa thing, and I asked God, and he told me that it was gonna stop this March, and it did, but it started up again. But he told me by the time the spring comes, 2022, it will be ending, but it's gonna be ongoing, but like the way it is now, it's gonna solidify, and then something else is gonna come. Like listen guys, we got a wave of stuff coming. So we really have to start praying. So when this stuff comes, Daddy could just stomp it out. He could just cancel it. Well, the Lord keep telling me that that's gonna happen, but I have no idea how or when. But He keeps telling me, and I was just talking to my brother in the Lord. Well, we was talking about it before I went home. I think it beginning of August. And he had a vision about Afghanistan man, I think, or was it Egyptian man? It was one of them. No, not Afghanistan. It was the Iraqi man or Egyptian man. His family died. His whole in the dream, the foreign man, whole family died. Holy Spirit, bring it back to me. The foreign man in the dream, whole family died. And he was supposed to get this big amount of money, insurance money. And it was either Egypt or Iraq. The government didn't want to give it to him. So he was homeless. This was like a movie, right? So he said the man was homeless for a minute, right? And then all of a sudden, these people came to him and gave him Iraqi money. And it was millions of Iraqi money or Egyptian money that was owed him. So he woke up and he said, God, what did that mean? And he said that the man represents all the people who was waiting for the currencies to revalue, and that it was going to revalue out of the blue. People were going to be shocked. And then the fact that the man was homeless represented all the people who put their rent, mortgage, life savings into this foreign currency, and many of them did become homeless because of that. So the homeless man represents all these people who have put all this money in, and when waiting for the government to or whoever's in charge to release this money, it's going to be released, and it's going to be suddenly, like nobody's going to see it. And that's what he told me. He had this dream. I think it was the end of July, between mid-July and the beginning of August, before I went home. He had told me this dream, and I was like, because I have some Iraqi dinar that people gave me. Like, I really never even had to buy any. I bought a little bit of it from eBay, and then I bought a little bit from this other currency place online. I forget the name of it. Brother Johnny had told me about it, so I brought it from there. But the rest of it, people I would go to my P.O. box like back in 2017, 2018 in Jersey, and down here, and I'll go there, and people would just send it to me in an envelope. I'm like, what? I wish this was real American money, right? And so that's how I got mine. Even my Vietnam dom, I only bought a couple of them from the bank, but the bank don't have them no more. And then the rest of them, I got from people sending it to me. So I was blessed. So, whenever it come, sister gonna be feeling nice. Feeling nice. Because I got me some dinar and done. And then, y'all remember, for all you older shepherds, y'all been following me since 2013. I've been out since 2011, but people ain't know about me till 2013. Y'all remember the dream I had in 2014. It was December 14th. Brother Johnny was in the dream with me, Currency 365, and we was sitting in this office, right? We was like working together, and I had heard an announcement. I think it was on the radio or the TV and the vision. And I had heard an announcement. The phone. I had heard an announcement in the dream, and it said that Iraq dinar had revalued for it was either $1.10 or $1.95, right? And so I back then I had a little bit of dinar, and I used to keep it in this yellow envelope in my closet, right? And so in the vision, I had the yellow envelope in my hand, the exact envelope and the exact amount of dinar. So I turned around in my seat and I said, Brother Johnny, I said, the Iraqi dinar just revalued. He was like, I know. And I said, I think it's $1.95 of our money per our dinar. He was like, what? He said, in a dream, he said, how you know that? I said, God just told me. So then I showed him my envelope and I said, can I go cash it in now? He said, yeah, right? So then just as I was about to go get up to go cash mine in, this Vietnam man came out of the other office and he said loud, the dong has revalued for $1.10 per American money. And me and Brother Johnny in the vision just looked at each other. We was jumping up for joy in the vision. And I woke up. I never forget that dream. Never. Then another time I dreamt, it was in 2015. I dreamt I was in the UK twice. The first dream, I dreamt I was in the UK on vacation. And the Iraqi dinar had revalued while I was over there. And I immediately went to the airport. I didn't even go to the hotel to get my stuff in the vision. I went to the airport and I bought a ticket and got on the plane and came home. I was like, what? And then I had another vision. I was in the UK. I was going in there to cash in some euros. And then the lady in the bank came up to me. She said, you know, you got to go home to America because the Iraqi dinar revalued. I was like, what? And then I had like 4 or 5 other dreams. I haven't had a dream about the currency since, I think, 2019 or 2020, early 2020. But I think it's 2019. I haven't had a currency dream since the end of 2019 or early part of 2020, but I've had about 10 or 12 of them, but I only had the one dream of seeing the Vietnam dong revalue, but the other dreams, the other 11, was all the Iraqi dinar. And so then one time I was about to sell all of what I had because I got tired of waiting and I was going to sell it because I didn't believe it was going to happen. So y'all remember Prophetess Shonda? I used to talk about a lot, but I haven't heard from her in like 2 years. I hope she's okay. 3 years. I think I told y'all this. I told her that I got rid of all my Iranian money. I don't even have any of that. If I do, it's very little. And I sold that money, right? And I told her, I said, I'm selling the Iranian money because somebody told me it's illegal to have it. And it ain't nothing but toilet paper. So she started laughing. And she was like, well, God said, you go ahead and sell it. So then I told her, and I did sell it. If I have any, it ain't none, right? And so then I told her, I said, I'm selling, this is in 2017. I said, I'm selling the Iraq dinar. She said, don't do that. I said, that's toilet paper too. I said, that money ain't going to revive. She said, God said, what about all the dreams? What about all the visions I showed you? And I was like, oh my goodness, that is God. Because she didn't know about all the visions he showed me. And then she said, God said, if you sell that Iraq money, you're going to live to regret it. And that was in 2017. Here we is 4 years later. So I've been holding on to it, you know. And then another time, I think it was early 2019, my brother who had the dream about it revaluing, like almost 2 months ago, I told him, I said, I'm selling this. I said, I don't want it no more. He said, because he even have some. Because I told him about it. He went and got him some years ago, right? And he said, God said, don't do that. I said, why does he keep telling me not to sell this Iraq dinar? It ain't going to come. And then Brother Daniel was like, What about all the dreams you had? I was like, they was from the devil. So he started laughing. And he said, God said, don't call him the devil. I was like, oh my goodness, right? So I was like, all right. So I put him back. I didn't try to sell him. And so I just gave up. I just gave up the notion. Never brought any of these currencies. I don't know if you can buy them now. I was told it's hard to buy them. You got to either go to some kind of foreign exchange place or Google foreign exchanges online that sells the Iraq dinar. And I was told it's very expensive. Like before to buy, let's say like, I think Brother Johnny had told us all, he had brought like 1 million of it. And it was like $500 or $600. But now, if you buy it, it's like $2,500, $2,800 for 1 million. So it's gone up a lot. And even the the dung used to be, I think, for 100,000, $20. Now it's like $80 or something. So it's going up a lot. But I wouldn't try eBay because I was told a lot of, it's just kind of hard to get it on eBay now. You can only get the ones that's worthless, that's not worth anything. So I would just Google exchange places, currency exchange places in your area. Or if you don't have none in your area, then just Google the exchange places online. But you're going to pay way more than we paid back in the day. You know, if you still want to get you some. And if you can, you know. And another thing, the government kept saying it was a sham. So anytime the government tells you something was a sham, you know it's not. And it was supposed to revalue a long time ago. But they've been holding it. You know, but yeah, you know Iraq is in the Bible. Iraq is in the King James Bible. And it says that Iraq will flourish for a season. It says Iraq will flourish for a season. Hey, Ashanti, how you doing? Iraq will flourish for a season. So how can a nation flourish? Their money has to be able to flourish for the nation to flourish. If your money is not being flourished, then the nation cannot be prosperous. So everybody knows God speaks about Iraq in the Bible, right? Even Brother Johnny taught on that one, right? So it says it's going to prosper for a season. So it means that their money is going to have to eventually revalue because that's the only way that it could flourish. And before the war started, their money was like for each dinar you could get $3. Like Kuwait money had fallen too. But not as long as Iraq money did. And then it revalued back in 2010 for $3.42 of our money. So before the war in Iran, we could get, I think it was $2 or $3. No, wait a minute. I think, how was it? It was $2 or $3 of our money, something like that. But it was worth a lot of money. Like Germany, when I used to live in Germany, for $1 of American money, you could get 3-something point pfennigs. So it was worth a lot of money. So my thing is, I guess it will happen one day because I had many dreams about it. My brother, he dreamt about it. I know other prophets who had dreamt about it. I know other prophets who, you know, like I just told me not to throw it away because God said it. And they said things that only God knew, you know. So it will one day. I just don't know when. I know it was supposed to a long time ago, but they're preventing it because they know a lot of Christians and people have it. And, you know, Lucifer don't want nobody to get rich. That's why they stopped selling the dung in the banks. You can't get the dung no more. You can't. Because I used to go to Chase and get it. And then when I needed money, I would go back and sell it. And then when I got money, I would go back and get some more. But they don't do that. They took it off of the exchange. So why would they do that, right? Why would they take Vietnam's money off of the exchange? You know, it's a purpose for that. You know, now if you take Vietnam done to the bank and you want to, you know, trade it in for American money, you can still do that, but you just can't buy it anymore. Chase used to be a big seller of it. What is it? BTB Bank or BBT Bank? You could go there if you have a bank account with them. And the guy, because I used to have a bank account with them, and my other brother-in-law have a bank account with them, and he told me he went there and they gave him Iraq dinar, but you have to have an account there and you order it. So I don't know if they still do it, but 2 years ago he did it, and I think it's BBT Bank, something like that. He did it and they got him some Iraq dinar, but I don't know if they still do it now. And they're a very difficult bank to get an account with, you know, so I don't know if they still do it, but he got his from there 2 years ago. They ordered it for him. So there are certain banks that could get it for you, you know. I don't know if they can now, because that was 2 years ago, but he got some from there. It's BB&Y. Oh, I thought it was BB&T. Okay. And then there was another bank, it started with an H. I know somebody that got some from there, but they don't do it anymore. It started with an H. It's a well-known bank too, but they don't do it anymore. But they used to give it to, yeah, BB&T. That's it. That's it. Oh, it's Trust now? Okay. 2 years ago, he got it from them. You have to have an account, and it take them 2 to 3 weeks to get it. But I don't know if they still do it. I don't know. Yeah, HSBC. You used to get it from there if you had a bank account, the Iraqi dinar. But I don't think they do it anymore. I don't think they do it anymore. Yeah. And you know, another thing, you gotta understand something. The Vietnam dong was worth money maybe, 15 years ago? And the Iraq dinar was worth money, 15 years ago, right? So whatever goes down must come up, you know, and it's America that's keeping the money down. Y'all already know that. Look what they did to Iran with the sanctions. You know, and Vietnam has sanctions on it. Iraq has sanctions on them. You know, even Afghanistan money went down. Sanctions. Look at Venezuela. Sanctions. Bankrupt. You know what I'm saying? So if America takes the sanctions off of Iraq and off of Vietnam dong, and even Iran, but it doesn't look like they're going to do Iran anytime soon. Iran has dropped the dollar anyway. Those currencies will definitely go up. But America has to take, didn't God say America has to take their foot off of the nation's money? They have to take, and you know why America can sanction Iran and sanction, well, Iran broke the treaty. They broke the nuclear bomb treaty. They weren't supposed to be making none, and then America found out they was making some, so they was able to put sanctions on them because Iran agreed that if they, you know, started making these nukes again, that America can sanction them. And Obama, what did he do? He renegotiated it again. Then when Trump got in there, he made it real hard, right? And then when Biden got in there, he was going to take the sanctions off, but the way Trump did it, he couldn't. And then Iran did something, so then Biden put more sanctions on them, right? So Iran and Vietnam, their sanctions just keep getting put back over and over. It's like a perpetual agreement. A perpetual agreement is a green contract. It's a green contract. It lasts until one of the parties decide to come out of it. But if the other party doesn't want to come out of it because you signed it, they could keep you in that green contract for years. And so Vietnam, Iraq, you know, and other countries, they sign these treaty deals, these deals with America, and they take money from America, right? So when they don't do what America want them to do, or they become too prosperous, next thing you know, here come these sanctions. Because Iran was a very prosperous country before those sanctions came on them. Very prosperous country. Very prosperous. So was Iraq. So was Vietnam. You know, but when America gives you money and you have these green contracts with them, and you mess up, or they get mad at you, or they see you prospering, they gonna put their foot on your money. They gonna stop the brakes. And that's what's happening to Iraq. We was in Iraq, 12 years fighting a war, right? And they done took all of Iraq's gold. Iraq had a lot of gold. America got it. So when America goes into a country and spend billions of dollars on a war, they usually ravish that country. Look at Iraq. It's ravished. Look at Vietnam after the war. It was ravished. It was ravished. And the only reason why they're not going in Iran trying to take nothing, because they scared of them. They scared of them, the Muslims. They scared of them. And then they know they got China and Russia and the Ottoman Empire, which is Turkey, behind them. So they know not to go. You notice they have not gone into Iran like they have done Afghanistan, Iraq, and all of them. And they ain't gonna. Because they got heavy backing. Heavy. Okay? Very heavy. Then they also got the Houthi terrorists and all these. See, and that's another thing. They don't even know what terrorists Iran is connected to. That's another thing. So America's not going to go into a nation they're uncertain about. You'll never see them rush Iran. You'll see Iran try to rush us one day. But you'll never see America rush Iran because they're not sure of what they got over there. And the Ottoman, and they got the Russia, China, the Ottoman Empire, and who knows other Islamic countries. So that's why they're not going to mess with them. And I remember in 2015, I saw these iron walls. For those who've been following me that long, I had this sort of vision of these iron walls around Iran. It's like America could not get to them. So the only way they could get to them is through sanctions. And that's because Iran signed the treaty and they took money from us. If you don't want your money squashed, don't sign a treaty or take money from America. Point blank. And the reason why America has so much control over other nations, especially Africa, is because they've taken money from us. Everybody has taken money from our till, right? And then they make these treaties and these agreements with us and they default, or, America gets mad at them and cause them to default. And, the countries can't go anywhere, So a lot of countries probably regret taking money from America and signing treaties. Because once you take money from America and you sign the treaties, it's like signing a deal with the devil. You ain't going to never get out of it. The only way you're going to get out of it is through death and destruction of your nation. And we see that. Don't we see that with these nations that come into treaty with us? Why you think Russia's a thorn in their side? Why you think China's a thorn in their side? China owns half of America anyway. They own a lot of buildings, a lot of real estate, a lot of houses. You'd be surprised what China own over here. That's why they don't mess with China. You notice they don't mess with them that much. They don't even mess with Russia. Like they claim Russia was the one, interfering with elections. So why didn't they go over there? That's tyranny. They had every right to go after Russia. Did they do it? Nope. Russia and China, they don't want to mess with. And they can't. Because Russia and China owes them nothing. And you see they tried to put sanctions on Russia. You saw what happened, right? Did it last? No. One time they tried to put sanctions on China. Did it last? No. Because Russia and China are very strong. Very strong. Look at India. India came in treaty with us, took money. You see what's happening over there. Any country that comes in treaty with us to take money, forget about it. Israel, the only one that got money from us and came in treaty with us. America don't mess with them. But they'll protect them. But they don't mess with them. Y'all need to do y'all history. Y'all learn this stuff just like I did. All right, so I got to go. I've probably been on here like 3 hours. So I got to go. You telling the truth. My co-worker at the post office, ex-Marine Special Forces, he said they raided places and took goods. Yeah, because you got to pay back. You got to pay your dues. You got to pay your dues. Look at Syria and Damascus. I told y'all years ago, Daddy said they was going to go in those countries and destroy it. They got all they gold. And look at Damascus and Yemen. I saw the visions of Yemen and Damascus. I told y'all back in 2015 and 14 it was going to happen, and it did. And God said those countries would never recover. Never recover. And they haven't. You're welcome. Just keep me in prayer because you know they be watching me. They be watching me. Feds, everybody. I had prophets tell me that. Even God told me that. I'm popular, but I ain't like popular like that. So just keep me in prayer. I mean, God protects me, but still, y'all supposed to pray for your shepherds anyway. You're welcome. And then I got to turn around and come on here tomorrow. Church only going to be for like an hour or about an hour and 30 minutes tomorrow. Because then I got to be on coaching for 4 hours the next day. So y'all just pray for me, please. Thank you. And just pray that I could do church tomorrow. Pray I won't be tired and can't come on. And pray that I could do the coaching on Saturday, because that's a long one. All right, so I'll see you guys tomorrow between 5 and 7. It's going to be for like an hour and 30 minutes. All right, so I'll see y'all. So bless y'all too, okay? And pray for all the stuff I told y'all to pray. If you got to come back and listen, then do it. All right, I'm going to try and put this on YouTube, but you know how YouTube be. You say certain things, the video might not make it, so I'll try and put it on there. So if y'all see it up there in the next 2 hours, then y'all will know. All right. All right. So I'll see y'all soon. Shalom and happy Sabbath.